Cowboys. Law Nation, as the room fill up, be sure to smash upon the like button. Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at it one way or another. Cowboy Nation hosting some guys that I know for sure that can be an impact to help out this particular team. Let's get it. Mama said there will be days just like this.
Spartans, prepare for glory.
Come on. Yo. All right. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. But what about, and I mean just that, what about a Law Nation groove? Come on. Get up out your seat. Stand to your feet. Let's grind one way or another. Get up out your seat. Stand to your, come on. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. Let's go. Where my dogs at, man? Come on, where y'all at? Let's get it. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2. What's up with y'all, man? Oh my goodness, man. You know, when the Cowboys do their 30 visits, 9 times out of 10, historical data shows that we will draft somebody from the 30 visits. Right? It also shows that the Cowboys, when we do our analysis and our research on a player, we right on the money with it, right? Yeah. Somebody right now, and they looking at me saying that they like, yeah, they shaking their head right with me, right? So regardless of it, the Cowboys did a wonderful job. Let me pull up this chart line that I had for a couple of days now, brought to you by Blogging the Boys. The Cowboys did a great job of solidifying most of their needs pre-draft, and that's setting the table up for the draft so that we don't have to rush. We don't have to be worried, right? Who in their hearts of hearts, who believe that they can really take this roster here, and I still haven't photoshopped Jordan Lewis' name off of it and put Bland there, but can you win with this roster just where it is right now? Just where it's at right now? Can you win about 10 or 11 games with that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Let me see yes or no in the chat. So the Cowboys did a great job of making sure that just with what they got now will be okay. And the draft supposed to be the future. The draft supposed to be, you get a guy, he come in, you don't have to ask Zay Flowers to be the number 1 wide receiver. Right. Somebody, Pluto says, Pluto Nation, shout out to your family. He says 13. We can flat out win 13 games with just what we got right here. Woo! Yeah, with 13 games, you can win just with what we got. Nah. Right? The cherry on the top is the draft aspect of it. So we don't have to rush, they say, Flowers. We don't have to, even if some furniture will be moved, a lot of people will be angry, upset, mad at the sun, the moon, mad at me, Law Nation. They'll be mad at me if with the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Jalin Hyatt. A lot of people will be like, oh, man, punch and win. You know what I mean? A lot of people will be mad, Why? They'll be mad, you know. Riggs! I can't take this Cowboy team anymore, you know. They went and got a one-trick pony, basically, a guy that can take the top off the defense. Oh, he did a little thing that he did against Alabama, but hey, man, come on, y'all. We don't have to reach for a wide receiver. But when you contextualize it all, what he did against Alabama, he didn't have a CeeDee Lamb out there. He didn't have a Brandon Cooks out there. He didn't have a quarterback like Dak or a running back like Tony Pollard, right, in the backfield, or a coaching philosophy like my guy, Mike McCarthy. So that's why it's so hard to look at things as an individual. Don't look at it as an isolated situation. This dude can slide into a situation and he'll be eating the fruits of the labors of the Cowboys front office of drafting him. And that is what it is, regardless of it. But what most people do, they fall into the traps of thinking that that draft pick will be the end-all, be-all, that you will have to lean on that person year one, year two, etc. No, there's no one size fit all type of groove. So that's why when the Cowboys do their evaluation, they know it, you know. They know that they're going to get a guy that's going to come into a system, a scheme, and be put into the right and proper spaces and places. And the same could be said for, dare I say, Zay Flowers. If the Cowboys with the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Zay Flowers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can't stretch out his name like Washington because it fits right on there. Flowers. You know what I'm saying? But if they do decide to do that, then there will still be, believe it or not, people punching the wind. Yeah. Out there we get a 5'7", 8" guy. You know what I'm saying? Is he 5'8" or is he 5'7"? Oh, with the cleats, yeah, he may be 5'9". You know, but when he scored that touchdown, when he pulled the ball out of the sky, when he plays bigger than his size, then people would say, you know what? Hey, man, I was tripping on draft night. You know what I'm saying? I was out of my mind, man. You know, shout out to Steve. He gave an analysis of this, Steve Smith, not Stephen A. Smith, but Steve Smith, you know, gave his analysis of this guy. Let me see if I can play it.
Balance and body control, unbelievable. Run after catch, explosive. He can be a tier 1. He is a day 1 plug and play type of player. If you watch the play against Louisville over 2 defenders, he makes the quarterback right. I love a wide receiver that makes the quarterback right. Love his stuff, man. Balance, body control, in and out, his yak. Woo! Woo!
Not shy on his size at the next level.
How tall is he?
It's like 5'9".
No, you know what tall is he? He's playmaking ability. That's how tall he is. That young man can play football. Like him. Actually, I love him.
Ooh, he been listening to some Law Nation. You know what I'm saying? I don't like her. I love him. So if Steve Smith, not Stephen A. Smith, but Steve Smith, you know, if he love him and don't like him, do y'all love him or do you like him? You know, at the 26th pick, the Cowboys select Flowers. Where do you stand at? You know, because he plays like he's 6'3", 6'4", right? Where do you guys feel of Zay? You know, nope on Flowers. You know, I got one person, hot spot casino at the casino. He says no, he's out. So we got one. Can anybody else touch and agree with him? While I pull up my rest of my notes over here. Do anyone else touch and agree? Grayson says he would take Flowers. Meh. Meh is from my guy Skrilio, Gorilla. Appreciate you. I'll take him. Randall Griffin, you know. So I see some mixed feelings. I didn't know y'all feel that way. You know, I didn't know. But I look at it like this. He would look, any of these wide receivers, they had to come into the room and they had to cross the wide receiver threshold of Brandon Smith that's here, Dontario Drummond, right? Dennis Houston, the other Jalin, not Hyatt, but Tolbert. Simi Fihoko, right? They gonna have to look. And then MG13, yes, he's still mean. Michael Gallup, he's still my boy, although he got mad at me. You know, that's what brothers do. We get mad at each other. And then you have Brandon Cooks, CD Lamb, iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel, baby. You know, that is the reality of it. So regardless of it, if it's a Zay flower, a law flower, a bay flower, or whoever Pelican Bay, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have to get up and they're going to have to earn their stake. And on top of that, when you think of it, we got to understand that these guys, anybody, is not a made and finished and done product. They're not. They're going to have to go through some what we call growing pains, etc. And they do have him listed as the best wide receiver in most people mocks coming out of the 2023 draft. I said earlier this last month was the fact that I like Zay. I think he's the best wide receiver out of this draft. I said it on my little top 10 wide receiver list. And of course, 5'9", 182 pounds. He put on 10 pounds of weight, still ran a 4.4. I think that was nice for what he was able to do. His role would be a movable weapon. Where he wins is quickness. You see that on that chart line for your mind. I like that aspect of it. He can improve on setting up routes. I think that with Zay, I wouldn't try to have him to set up routes. I would look at Zay as a guy that I would utilize in space, on the move. I would not have him doing hitches, comebacks. I would keep him on the move, deep overs, or underneath. Who remember Brandon Ayuk? He didn't play for the Cowboys. He played for my brother's team, the Niners. I would utilize and use him similar to how the Niners use Brandon Ayuk in their West Coast scheme and system. I would keep him in comfortable routes, your deep overs, your drags, your shallows, your bubbles, your tunnels. I would use them in those type of directions if the Cowboys decide to draft Zay Flowers. Now, the only thing would be is would you be willing to start him week 1, week 2? There's only one football, and there's another guy with similar skill set that's a veteran. That his name is Brandon Cooks. I wouldn't bench Brandon Cooks, or I wouldn't take Brandon Cooks out of the equation for the have Brandon Cooks and Zay Flower on the field running those same similarities of routes. That just, too much of the same. So, yeah, Zay kills on the slants. Yeah. And I've seen people make a strong argument that Josh Downs is better than Zay Flowers in that particular light, too. But Zay can run really good routes. Yes, Al. Yes, indeed. What round was Zay? What round was, not Zay, but Ayuk was drafted, Al? AI. Was he first round draft pick, wasn't he? Or second or something like that. That's a lot of speed, too. Yeah, it's 4.4 speed, 4.3 speed. That's a lot of speed. A lot of speed. I wouldn't necessarily have him, even though he can do it, but I wouldn't have him in a jump ball situation. I wouldn't do that, no. Does he take Turpin's spot on our returner room? As a rookie, I would automatically say yes. As a rookie, I'm looking at everybody coming out of this draft. If you're a skilled player, special tape. But I'm a rookie. I'm drafted in the first round. So was Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant was dominant as a rookie. Punt return, who remember? Although kickoff return, I think he broke his foot on one of them. Against the Colts, I believe. Or it could have been against the Giants. But Dez was what Dez ran, a 4.5 guy? But they let you know quickness is different from 4.3. Dez Bryant was more explosive, believing it or not, than Kevontae Turpin. You see, so many people get hooked up on size and everything and what they ran in the 40. Dez was explosive. I recall that he was the first pick. Appreciate you, BD Great. I love y'all, man. BD Great said he was the 25th pick. So, yeah, if you're liking Brandon Ayuk and Zay Flowers to the same gear, yeah. Dez was a 4-5 guy, right? But nobody caught him. Especially, my greatest return that I saw Dez do was in that Chicago Bears game. Who remember that one? Woo! He ran it all the way back. And high step prime time for your mind on those boys. Let me know if I'm wrong with the school. I mean, not the school, but with the team. It had to be against Chicago. But it goes to show you that it's not about the size. It's not about the 40 time. It's the short area quickness. I would take a quick player over a linear fast guy. Right? I've seen people say, oh, man, I want the 4-3 guy. I want the 4-3 guy. I want the 4-3 guy. And shout out to Bryce Butler. He was a 4-3 guy, never burned up the league, right? Only a few games. I think Bryce Butler, phenomenal for the Cowboys in preseason against the Dolphins. And then he had a hell of a game against the Cards one year. And maybe in 2017 he had a nice game against the Niners? And that was it. That was it. But that was only because of the quarterback, right? And then they bull-sugar us in that playoff game when we played against the Green Bay Packers. They said too many people were in the huddle, that bull-sugar stuff. Y'all, see, people be only looking at the Cowboys as an accident waiting to happen. They've been trying to baffle us and bedazzle us with all type of BS all year long. Every year is always one or two things. Not everyone can be Tyreek, man. Yeah, Tyreek ran a 4.29. Tyreek is just, if you look up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, you see Tyreek. The compact build, he's designed for that, right? Yeah, I mean, that's who Tyreek Hill is. Y'all be sure to share this thing. Give me some likes, man. If y'all want me to continue to go, give me some likes. I'm not sending likes up there like that. Let me know, because I don't want to be wasting your time. I could be doing something else. Let me know. Let me know if y'all like what we're doing right now. Hit the like button. I'm not too proud to beg. I know it's the off season. There's nobody winning, nobody losing during the off season. Right. So if y'all like what you're hearing, let me know. Get the likes up. Baby. All right. Anyone sub 4.3 is insane. This is from JT. Yep. Let me go to this right here. Let's listen to some more analysis on Boston College, Zay Flower.
And we have a fourth consecutive 1,100-plus rushing yard season for Dalvin Cook. Had off-season shoulder surgery. What can you tell us about that?
He recently had a checkup with his shoulder, talked to the
Nobody care about
Vikings,
Dalvin
how
Cook.
the doctors look at him 100%. I know there's a lot of discussion.
I must have passed it up.
Consecutive 1,100-plus.
Here we go.
Is visiting the Dallas Cowboys today. Of course, in the quarterback market, in the court from Boston College, he is visiting the Dallas Cowboys today.
And we have a fourth.
Oh, man, they bull sugar me on this one. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Baby, y'all bear with me. Boom. Nope. We don't care about anything else. Boom. Nope. Well, I thought I had the audio of Zay Flower, but that was going to be one of the analysis from Good Morning America Football, I believe, that was going to go over some of the Zay Flowers. But neither here nor there. We will move right on with the other guy. How about those apples for building the plane while I was in there? Let's talk about this other product, this player from Tennessee. Jalin Hyatt, where do you guys feel with Jalin Hyatt? He's 6 foot, 176 pounds. Now, Pro Football Focus got him at the 3rd round. I ain't gonna even lie. Not gonna even lie. If the Cowboys draft in the 3rd round Jalin Hyatt, shoot, I think that would be a steal. The mindset would be different. Would you guys look, if Hyatt falls to the 3rd round, I would love that. That would be a A++, quadruple plus grade for me. Is he only 6 foot? I think that he may be 6 foot or a little. He looks like he's 6'2". I would love that, you know. I would absolutely love it with all of my mind. Gonzo 11 says, Dak lost his security blanket in Schultz. What about a tight end in the first round? Well, that tight end that you draft in the first round, let me switch over because I know. Here's what I want you guys to understand and dissect. We've been running the same offense, and I know I get pushed back left and right, but these are the facts. Since 2007. In 2007, who was the dominant threat for this offense? You don't have to say Jason Witten, because you can go back and forth and say T.O., Patrick Creighton. But down the line in 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, it's been dominant tight end because they built offenses around the tight end. And the tight end originally under Jason Garrett / Scott Linehan system was the Y option. Who remember Y option route? Let me know. Who remember Y option routes, right? The Y option is a staple piece under the Jason Garrett system and scheme. And it was implemented also by Scott Linehan. And they went all the way. They utilized that option route. They beat it up. They beat it up. They beat it up. Pause if anybody want to utilize it in a negative connotation or a sexual connotation. But neither here nor there. What I'm saying is we've been so fixated on, hey, we need that tight end. We need that tight end. But we going into a West Coast scheme, meaning that I'm not finna have my tight end run into the middle of the field to hook to come back to me, right? I'm not finna have him do the stop routes. There will still be causes for that tight end to still utilize that, but now you're going to see more of a variations of athletic tight ends. You're going to see more of a variations of tight ends that can chip and then squeeze and get upfield and not just sit on a route. You're going to see tight ends in motion. You're going to see more of the principles of a tight end being pulled, coming off of the edge to block. You're going to see some variations of a tight end staying inside, and you're going to see your guard being pinned to pull, and you're going to see a lot of that within the confines of the West Coast principles. So the principles will be there. So leaning on a Dalton Schultz or requiring a Dalton Schultz to be Dak Prescott #1 go-to weapon is out of the door. You will see more and more of your playmakers being part of the game, like your CeeDee Lamb, your Brandon Cooks, and your tight end will be your third or fourth option in most situations. So I wouldn't use too much real estate or investment on a tight end in the first, unless he is BPA. If he's your best player available, then go ahead with it. I appreciate you, Alex Jones, since you want to let everybody know that you're queer, and I appreciate you. You know, we give everybody opportunity to express themselves and who they are and what they do. But let me give you the best slap that any person can ever give you. Won't you lean forward just a little bit? Yeah, this gonna hurt you a little bit. It might make you unqueer. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. hey, that boy, he up out of here now. You know what I'm saying? I'm queer though. Yeah, you got that queer slap. That's the best slap that queer ever got. Oh man, I thought you were supposed to. Well, hey. What about Brokeback Mountain, Brokeback Face? Hey, I'm queer. Hear me roar. Yeah. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? They need to have the queer version of that one. How dare you? Lean forward, boy. All right, man. Back to business, man. All right, y'all. Before they try to get me have the Rainbow Coalition after me, man. They ain't talking about Jesse Jackson. But all right, man. All right, we back. All right, we back to business as usual. Nevertheless, I think that the Cowboys will figure out a way with their playmakers, and I think that the Cowboys should build from the inside out, meaning that you will have a guard or an offensive lineman ready to be picked up in the first round. That's where they're going to go with, and that's where they're going to rock with, baby. So, unfortunately, yes, indeed. Y'all killing me over here. Yeah. Yes, indeed. But I tell y'all, man, this world is so crazy, boy. Forward is backwards, backwards is forward. All right, so with that being said, Glenn Caper says Yak will go up. CD will be even better this year. I 1,000,000% agree with you. Let me.
Dracarys.
Yes, indeed. So I 1,000,000% agree with you. All right, so the other guy that they brought in for a cup of coffee that is going to be tomorrow is Trenton Simpson. And I really like his tape. I like his analysis. Maybe we'll do a Trenton Simpson film session, or it's going to be a quick one, about 2 to 3 minutes long, whereas I highlight some of the good things and some of the things that he need to work on. Now, they said second or third round with him. I got a second round grade with him. If the Cowboys decide to pick up Michael Parsons 3.0, no, he look like Parsons just a little bit. Everybody look like Parsons. You know, I guess everybody that was born around 99 to 2001, they all look alike. You know, the brothers over here. Don't he? Yes or no? Don't he look like Parsons just a little bit? Just a little bit. You know, maybe it's this part right here, you know. It's the beard, you know, that don't really connect all the way around here. You know, maybe that's what it is. Just a little bit. Now, he's not as fast as Parsons, of course, but I would tell you guys that this dude is a game wrecker. I think that if the Cowboys can fool around and squeeze him with the 58 pick, that will be good just a little bit. You know, Ryan Montoya. Parsons, we're going to have a long conversation with Michael Parsons' father. You know, let's see what he can do. You know what I'm saying over here with all of these people. Sam Williams, you got Trenton Simpson. There may be a guy in the 2024 draft that's going to be another Parsons clone. You know what I'm saying? Simpson did run a 4.4, so that's fast. Look how crazy this world is, ladies and gentlemen. How crazy this is that now we don't even acknowledge 4.4 as a fast speed, as quickness anymore, right? And I've just talked about don't care about quickness and things like that, like 4.5s and stuff. 4.5s are the new 4.7s, right? And 4.5s, you run a 4.5, he's slow. You run a 4.4, he all right. You know, 4.3, all right, man, it's okay. It's okay. Man, do we run a 4.2? Yeah. Hey, if somebody said with Parsons' dad, man, you know how it goes, man. Look, I ain't mad at him, you know how it is.
I ain't mad at you,
dog.
I ain't mad at you.
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 Man, shoot, 98, 99 around that time, shoot, boy, oh boy. You know, boy, we was doing some work around that time. Y'all know how it goes in the year 2000, 2001, around that time when all of these kids, when they were born. So y'all know how it goes, y'all. All right, so Micah is 11 and Trenton is 11. Yes, indeed. So with that being said, his role will be on the weak side. He's a WLB. You see, man coverage heavy. So that means that he will stick to you. He'll fly. And when he hit you, 6'2" at 235, he may be right 240, right, when his playing weight. He will have that ability to stretch the field. Some of those weak areas that we have with the run game, he will really shore that up. Here it is right here. Simpson is fluid and explosive. There are only so many people with that size who can play off-ball linebacker in the NFL, and Simpson is one of them. Something, the NFL defensive coordinators can work with. I promise you, 4'4" at 235. Look, Sam Jordan know what it is about. He said that ain't nothing to sneeze at. That is some real stuff right there. And I absolutely love that. What can he improve on? His own coverage instincts? Well, I'm not trying to put him in zone. I'm not trying to put him in a situation whereas he got to just fly in zone. I want to put him on a try to be paused with I don't want Alex Jones to come back over here. But pause, pre-pause. I want to put him on a man and stick him on a man. I want him to be like white on rice because it will make it even more difficult for that person to get to their spot of the ball. You got 5 yards to be that aggressive, and when it's time to peel off said man, you can run down and hit, rally, and chase. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And feel. So that's what I would love to do with this particular kid. And I would not be mad at I would not be mad if the Cowboys do that at the 58. It's the with the 26th pick, the Cowboys select Trenton. That would be more of like, hey, what's going on with that? Because what we have to do here is have to understand these things right here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a major drop-off on O-line for your mind when it gets down to the 3rd and the 4th round. Now, of course, we can get a Voorhees and then we can say, all right, we're going to look for futures 2024 deal. But when I look at this list, I want somebody that with top pedigree. We don't have a lot of holes to fill, but I don't want to, for the sake of draft sakes, is to see if we can get a guy in the 5th and the 6th round or with a maybe. No, I want us to figure out a way that we can get things in early just in case. And if I'm a betting man, not to sully, not to denigrate, not to cast any aspersions on Tyron Smith, but who believe Tyron Smith will be able to play 17 weeks in a Cowboys uniform? I want to know. I need to know. Jamiri says, how do you feel about it? Shout out to you, man. What do that mean? I'm trying to read it on the phone, man. I got these hooked on funny guys, man. Let me see. How do you feel? How do you say the draft doesn't matter? I don't know. How do you feel about it? You got it all together, man. I'm sitting here. I already had eye surgery Friday. I'm trying to recover. That's why I got glasses on. You trying to hurt me, man. But how do I feel about people that say draft doesn't matter? I would tell you, there's rules to drafting. There's rules to drafting. You need it. But it's balance. And you can't be draft heavy and depending on that to help you out. And you can't be free agent heavy depending on that to help you out. There's a circle like Lion King, a circle of life. There's a circle like you got to do a little bit of each. You can't be like the hyenas, who remember the Lion King, when the hyenas and Scar, they work together and the hyena was like, shoot, we just going to eat them all up. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't give time for other pieces to grow. So I truly believe that there should be a circle of life with the free agency, which we did better this season, juxtaposed to what we did last season. And then there should be a circle of drafting, and then there should be a comeback to free agency after the draft. There will be some guys that the Cowboys can really pick up for cheap after the draft. Davion Clowney, he's out there after the draft. I think he's out there. I'm just using him as an example. If you didn't like what you got out of the draft, the right player didn't fall to you, and you want to pick up a veteran for cheap, then you holler at him, you know. Or it can be somebody that they feel as if their rookie is going to elevate them on another team, and then they release a veteran guy that you say, hey, let's bring him in for a cup of coffee. Like your Anthony Brown, not Anthony Brown, but Anthony Barr last season, right? So those would be things what I look at. Law, do you think Simpson would be there at 58? Well, they got him ranked, and now it could be, shout out to my guy, Boss Cowboy. This could be wee woo, but they got him ranked on the board like at 66. Yeah, so my guy BD Gray, we never went after D-Hop, right? So what happened here, here's what can happen with DeAndre Hopkins. And I'm glad that you circle back and you talk about that. Shout out to you, Sadiq. I see you in the chat. Appreciate you. One love to you. The DeAndre Hopkins situation. They want the sun and the moon. They know that it's $34 million. A lot of people looking at it like, hey, we already seen you show your hand with DeAndre Hopkins. We ain't going to touch him. We are not, it will be unwise for a team to say, you know what, we don't want to get into a bidding war with DeAndre Hopkins, so we would take care of $15 to $20 million of that $34 million contract, and we'll give you a draft pick, etc. When he already discussed or he already announced that he's displeased with the quarterback, he don't like the organization, the franchise, or what have you, from how they handle certain things. So they are at rough edges of things as far as him playing there. So all you have to do now is just wait. After the draft, there should be a situation and scenario that a team will probably cut him. Eat that money because he don't want to play anyway, and save whatever they can save. And then you can come right on in and scoop him up. And if he already expressed that he wanted to play for the star, then come on by. We got room for you. That's the smart way to handle that. That is. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. All right, so those are the guys that the Cowboys may be drafting for the 2023 season. Zay Flower, Jalin Hyatt, and my guy Trenton Simpson. What we want to do here is open up the phone line so you guys can give me your thoughts on everything, and we can go back and forth from there. Arizona pulled a Dallas move, basically. Yeah. yeah, they did, basically. So Cooper got pushed by Dak. Okay, we'll find out. We'll talk about Dak Prescott too, if you guys want to talk about Dak, because I know for sure that a lot of you guys are still kind of angry and upset at Dak, and I get it. You know, I had people come and say, well, you know, Dak is Dak and these sorts of things, but all I can say is, before you can cast any aspersions on the man, let's see what it looked like now. And if he still look like more of the same, then shoot. There's a lot of guys you can draft in the draft this season, right? And have him in the wings. Next up on deck, Avila, Trenton Simpson, A-Chain. This is from my guy Beast Mode. I wouldn't be mad at that one at all, you know. But it's a situation that I like D1 Jones. Let me stop saying how much I like him for the enemy creeps in and grab him. Y'all know how that goes. The hotline for your mind is brought to you by Underdog. Use promo code LAW. I just have one thing that I want to say to you all. If you decide to play, just make sure you're 18 years or older. Also, if you win that 10 milli, holla at your boy, baby. Come on. I like Overshawn. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Boy, we moving right along today, baby. I told y'all.
2 participants in the conference.
I told y'all
Participants are muted.
I'll open up that phone line a whole lot earlier. You know, normally we'd be going like 2-3 hours before I open up the phone line. So now I make sure that I got enough time so I can speak to you all. Cons, pros, what have you, whatever you want to talk about, freestyle show. Let's go. I got my guy from the 484, Mike. You're live.
Yo, what's up?
Nothing to it, Chief.
What's up, bro?
Nothing to it, man. Holla at me, man. It's just your world.
What's up, Law? I can't call it, man. So I want to say this, man. All these Dak haters out here, like I'm hearing all this hullabaloo about how Dak is a bad quarterback. We can't win a chip with Dak Prescott. I need everybody to understand something. Under Jason Garrett ran a lot of play-action plays, okay? And that's where Dak Prescott flourished, okay? Now, if you're telling me that Mike McCarthy wants to go back to a West Coast offense, a true West Coast offense, which he's very averse with, then let's just say we're going to see the best Dak Prescott that we have ever seen.
Well, you said, all right, so let me get on the same page with you, Mike. You said Jason Garrett liked to run a lot of play-action plays.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to get back to the true West Coast offense, we're going to see more of the same, right?
I would think so, yeah.
All right, so here's what I got. All right, Dak Prescott's best season was like one of his rookie year, then I say 2019, far as from a stat aspect. 2019, those were his 2 best seasons, right? When you look at the stat line for it, with Jason Garrett still being the coach. And then his best season under Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore was 2021. And that's coming off of a broken ankle, and then you had the calf strain or what have you that season. So somewhere along the way, that's Dak Prescott. My guy Big Game James said that, and I respect Big Game James' opinion. He said that Dak Prescott already peaked, right? Meaning that he's not going to go no higher than what he presented maybe in 2021. So that is who that's his opinion. But what I'm trying to say here is even within the confines of 2021 Dak or 2016 Dak, that's still winnable enough for you to win a Super Bowl if you continue to build around that. I think what people get lost in the sauce at, Mike, is that they want to see a Pat Mahomes, or they want to see Joe Montana, or they want to see one of these other quarterbacks that won multiple Super Bowls, etc., when you don't need all of that.
True indeed. Now, I'll say this about that. Just to that point right there, there's only one Patrick Mahomes.
True.
You know what I'm saying? There's only one Joe Montana.
True.
You know, like, not everybody has that skill set.
Right.
Like, everybody, look, a lot of people may say Jalen Hurts is like the second coming of Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson would be. I would say Lamar Jackson. But let's be honest, there's only one Michael Vick. That man had a left-hand cannon.
Yeah.
You know, and he understood defenses where Lamar Jackson doesn't. Now, if there's a knock that I put on Dak Prescott, it would be his late season decision making.
Yeah.
When we're down and we're trying to move the ball. You know, the Jacksonville game. I mean, the Green Bay Packers game. Just a late game decision. Now, other than that, the kid's spot on. Right?
Yeah.
And again, I respect his opinion that he's peaked, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, didn't we say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We say the same thing. Yeah.
He's still a four-time MVP.
Right.
So I mean, you can peak all you want. It goes like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have your quarterback. You know what he brings to the table. What pieces does he need around him to maximize his skill set?
Wait, man, you're right on the money. Because let's go. Let's taper this and go all the way back, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to Alcorn State greatest quarterback ever, Steve Air McNair. You remember that Super Bowl against Kurt Warner and company, right? Greatest show on turf. Do McNair win that if he had Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce on that team? You know what I'm saying? Was McNair better than Kurt Warner? You know?
Intangibles? When you're talking intangibles?
Athletically, yep.
Athletically, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Sometimes the athlete.
Yeah. But he didn't have an Isaac Bruce or Torrey Holt. And when we start looking at even Kurt Warner, he never made it to the Super Bowl without Hall of Famers as wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Think about it. Think about this. Even when he went to the Cards, he still had Bolden. He still had Larry Fitz. So at one end, we look at my guy Kurt Warner as a Hall of Famer gold jacket guy, one of the better passers and thrower of the ball. Everybody give him all of these accolades. But we never seen him out there on the field with a Noah Brown, right? And then when he was out there on the field with a guy like a Noah Brown, you know what I'm saying, or a 33-year-old guy, he didn't make it. He got cut. He went to the Giants. He couldn't make the team, you know? So it goes both ways. Like some players need to have skilled players on the outside. But what will happen here, Mike, that they will Mandela it, and then they would say, well, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, they were nobody until Kurt Warner got there, which was far from the truth.
And we know that's a farce. We know that's a farce.
Yeah.
We know that's a fallacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. I'm hearing all this talk about how we need to pick up a tight end in the first round or pick up a tight end, period. I don't want a tight end in the draft. I don't want a tight end in the draft because we have two nice tight ends who showed you something last season.
Right.
And they can only get better from here. So Peyton Hendershot, Jay Ferg, listen, I expect nothing but progression from those guys. And for anybody to say that Dak Prescott is a horrible quarterback, who was Blake Jarwin?
Ooh, give it to him, man. You know what? The person that slowed the growth of Jarwin was a guy that we paid $5 to $6 million to bring back with Jason Witten. You know what I'm saying?
Jason Witten. Indeed.
Yeah.
So let's call a spade a spade, you know?
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. We already know our defense is solidified. I honestly think maybe a linebacker could, just to keep Micah, moving freely, a linebacker would help. But defense, we're sold on. I love this Zay Flowers. You know what I'm saying? I like Jalin Carter and bring him in. I'm fine with that. Let's bring him in. But if we're going to do it, let's think offense. What can we put around our star quarterback, our $40 million quarterback, to maximize his skill set? I mean, all right. So look at it like Pat Mahomes. He didn't really have much. He really didn't. He had pieces that played their position that did their job.
Yeah.
They got open when he needed them to get open. Other than that, that guy's a freaking magician.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Patty Mahomes is a magician. There's no other magicians like that.
I mean,
and if there was, you could call him Aaron Rodgers. And that was, 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's the Pat Mahomes era. If you look, there's nobody else out there as far as quarterbacks with his skill set.
Yeah.
No other quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are. You can talk to Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jacksons and the what's the kid down there in Jacksonville?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
I like Lawrence.
I like him.
I think Lawrence will have a come out. He showed us what he can do last year. But I think Lawrence, I think Lawrence and then Joe Burrow, you will see that Lawrence going to be probably better than Joe Burrow this year. Watch, and I know I might get some hate mail because I know people love Joe Burrow, but watch what Lawrence do this year. That's my guy, man. I like Lawrence. I think it's because of the name, you know.
Lawrence is nice.
Yeah.
But here's one thing. Here's my last thing, man.
Talk to me,
about
man.
these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I am so sick and tired of every time I turn on something, I hear people talk about how good and how much better Justin Herbert is compared to Dak Prescott. I am so sick and tired of hearing that. I don't care how much talent the kid has. He has something around him, and he still can't do it.
Oh yeah. Justin Herbert, he came into the league with Mike Williams and the other kid.
Exactly.
This is a crazy route run. His name is tip of my tongue. And he didn't come into the league with all of the foolishness stuff that we had over here. But yeah, I feel you, fam. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So before people let their bias take place, look at actual football. Okay,
Yeah.
like go back and watch film of Dak Prescott when they played against the Chargers and beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like our defense held serve because we understand how to force a quarterback to make bad decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, we did put up a 40 burger on the number one team in the NFC East, right?
We did.
I mean,
we did.
So let's think. I mean, let's call it what it is. We put up 40 on like 5 teams this year. You know what I mean? So obviously, it's not the defense. And with the late Kellen Moore, we put up points, but it didn't like for some reason on those games where Dak was forced to make a decision and with zero separation from his receivers, bad decisions cost us a few games.
No doubt. No doubt, man. Every quarterback terrain is different. I'm seeing JR, he's in the chat. He was saying that where Joe Burrow made it to XYZ 2 years in a row, blah, blah, blah. Joe Burrow came into the league. Minus his first year with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, and with Tyler Boyd. Without Jason Garrett. Now, it would be a fair comparison if they had Jason Garrett over there, and then we would be able to compare the two. But I promise you, man, Jason Garrett probably wouldn't have been able to take that kid that far. Just to be real with y'all, man. Come on, man.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Come on, man.
But I mean, like, you're not going to sit here and say, oh, well, these quarterbacks are super top tier when they've never really dealt with adversity. Josh Allen, he dealt with adversity his first couple of years.
Yeah.
He gets a couple of receivers. Now he's where he should be. All Josh Allen is Ben Roethlisberger 2.0. Let's be real.
True.
Let's be real. Okay?
True.
Now, Joe Burrow is different. The kid's got moxie. I do like that part of his game. And when we say that, it's not – look, people acting like Joe Burrow was drafted in the 4th round. You know what I'm saying? He was the first overall draft pick for a reason, you know? He was supposed to be this.
He's supposed to be that, yeah.
Exactly. He was supposed to be that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Dak Prescott was a 4th round pick. I mean, let's be honest. Was he supposed to be a $40 million quarterback? No. Nobody had hopes that he was going to be who he is now, 7 years in. 7 years, and then on top of that, with that 7 years, he's gained so much more experience. He's had a down season where he was the leader in interceptions, blah, blah, blah. But with that comes experience. You're going to see a different Dak Prescott this year. He's going to make better decisions. He's going to flourish within the offense because the offense is being built around his skill set.
Yeah. So, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for calling.
My guy.
Yes, indeed.
How about those Cowboys, man? You safe out here.
All right, how about them? I love the narrative being moved. Joe Burrow had the worst offensive line. How many years he been in the league? Oh, okay. And didn't they get La'el Collins? Because here's how it goes. Joe Burrow would prove that La'el Collins is great, right? So we were telling everybody La'el Collins was horrible. Now he goes there. Now the truth is there. Now La'el Collins is back horrible. You see, and at the same time, when it was available and applicable to those guys, when it was offered to off there on the street, a Connor Williams, when he was available, if their offensive line was so terrible, why didn't they go get Connor Williams if he was such a great guy when he was here, right? So it goes to show you that people would like to paint the picture and a narrative of where they like to go with far as the offensive line. Because here's the truth right here. If the offensive line for the Cincinnati is the worst offensive line, then Joe Mixon damn sure got to be the best running back in the National Football League. Law, do you have any truth to that? Because he had 1,300 yards rushing, over 12 touchdowns running in 2021. So which one is it? Is it Joe Burrows or is it Joe Mixon? Because if I pull up, let's play this game. So if I pull up Joe Mixon, the year that everybody say that, hey, man, he have a horrid offensive line. Meaning that, all right, if I pull up Joe Mixon, the year that they said it, so this man should be the quote-unquote best running back in the National Football League because he averaged 4.1 yards per tote, 1,200 yards on the ground with 13 touchdowns. And on top of, let me see how many receiving touchdowns. He had 3. So 3 plus 12, 3 plus 13, 16 touchdowns, baby. So what, JR, what is your excuses for that? Is it the offensive line or Joe Mixon is so good? Because I ain't even talking about Joe Burrows. So which one is it? Is it the offensive line bad or are they good? You can't continue to say, well, hey, the offensive line was terrible, but your running back getting 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns. And your quarterback is throwing the lights out of it, right? So is that an excuse? Because it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. You know what I'm saying? When we say it. You know what I'm saying? And so which one is it? Which one is it? It's still, look, For example, I had a lot of people to hit me up and say, well, at least Jalen Hurts made it to the Super Bowl. He should be better. Well, I had the same argument. Just because Donovan McNabb made it to the Super Bowl didn't make him better than Tony Romo. Rex Grossman in 2006 threw for 23 touchdowns with 3,000 yards, 13-3. He was on a team that was 13-3. Made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Do that mean that Rex Grossman was better than Tony at the time? You know? So is that the qualifier? Was Rex Grossman the best quarterback ever in 2006 because they went 13-3? Huh. Oh, Cam Newton, he went to the Super Bowl. Did that mean that he's the best quarterback ever and lost? Oh, let me go a little bit further. My guy, Colin Kaepernick, he went to the Super Bowl, never to return. So when we start talking about, hey, man, going to the Super Bowl is nice. Oh, going to the Super Bowl is great. That doesn't mean a hill of beans. You want to at least win it because going there and not coming back ever again is not the same. I digress. You know, come on. I got my guy, MJ from the 206, you in the mix.
What up, Love? How you doing, brother?
Yes, indeed. I'm doing well. But my blackness, the phone number before you say anything, my blackness, let me beat you up with the straw man's argument then. Because you can call there 657-390-7391 so I can give you the full doses of the argument. Let's go. You go. I got MJ.
Well, they trying to make excuses. They want to debate law.
They want to debate the champ over here.
They get mad. Get me on there.
Get me on there. Fold up like a wallet or a lawn chair every time. But go ahead, bro.
He said, call in. People don't be scared. He got the line open.
Got the line wide open.
Wide open. But what I want to say is the Cowboys is doing a job, the front office. They're getting everything in order. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to be, making bad picks. But they ain't going to make no bad picks. because the Cowboys gonna pick who they think could turn it off for them.
Right.
They ain't gonna pick what the fans say they supposed to pick. They gonna pick what they supposed to pick because they right there. They see everything. They see every angle. We can say we know what we know, but we don't know what we know.
Right.
They got the ups on us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like a pilot. It's like a pilot flying the plane, and we in the passenger seat, and I go in the front. Hey man, let me fly this plane.
Let me fly the plane. You know.
Yeah.
Let me fly the plane. Let me get out the way, man. Let me fly the plane. You know.
Let me get inside. Let me crash this mug and kill everybody. Let me kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, the Cowboys ain't going for that foolishness. And you gotta remember, I keep telling y'all, the Cowboys is one of the best drafting teams in the NFL, and the teams be trying to watch what they do. So what the Cowboys is doing, they're bringing all the receivers in there. They didn't bring no tackles. They finna throw a wrench because people watch them how they draft.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because they know what, the one time in the Dallas wanted to draft them tight ends, Jerry was running his mouth, and they drafted them tight ends before Jerry. Jerry like had that stupid look on his face, like, what the? Yeah, Jerry, you running your mouth.
Yeah.
And McCarthy is telling Jerry, man, I know you you can do your marketing. I know you love the marketing. Go on and tell them what you want. Yeah, tell them this. Yeah, tell them that. But we going the opposite way. Because they finna build them trenches. They want to beat them. What the Cowboys trying to go back to, the Cowboys want to beat you, man. They want to beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
They want to have you so sore. So you going to think it's a run, and then next thing you know, they throw a bomb on you. You know what I'm saying? Or you think it's going to be a bomb, now they can set a screen.
Yeah.
Receiver number 3 or number 9. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Cowboys are setting themselves up goodly here to draft the best player. And like I said, they jumped that now, I was watching the ball show. If they draft say they draft the big guy, the big right tackle.
DeJuan Jones?
That means Steele might play guard for real. Because Steele know how to run block. You see what I'm saying? And that big boy so big, man, that'd be the biggest, that line would be so big, that'll be one of the most powerful offensive line in the NFL.
Well, here's how you have to do this, though. It will still be subject to competition, right? Meaning that it was easier for Tyler Smith to play left guard and left tackle because it's left side. Now, if you tried to have a perfect competition, whereas DeJuan Jones is only being a right tackle, and then you have Terrence Steele playing right tackle and left guard, and practice getting those reps, that could sully that, I want right side guys to play right side things. I want left side guys to play left side things. But going back and forth, coming off of that type of surgery, it could be challenging. So if it would have been ideal if I had for the future Terrence Steele as the left tackle, and I'm saying that I'm going to try to convert him to be a left side player, then I can see all of that. You know what I'm saying? Not just a guard, but just a left-sided player. But him going from right to left, that would be a hard thing to do, and especially at two different sides of the coin, meaning tackle to guard. Now, you do have swing tackles and you do have swing guards. So I would not do that for a swing tackle / swing guard. No, I wouldn't do all of that for Terrence Steele. I would just keep him. It would be a different situation and scenario if Terrence Steele played kind of like all right, but man, he played at good levels. He only allowed 1 sack last season, and didn't allow a single penalty. So I would keep that I'll keep that bullet in my chamber versus trying to get too cute and play him at guard. The Cowboys should just go out there and draft a guard. Yeah,
I like to draft one of them guards. Whatever guard they get, the UCLA guard, my boy,
Mafia.
TCU.
Yeah, Mafia.
Mafia, or my boy from TCU. So what other guard they pick, I'm gonna be happy with. I don't care.
I mean, whoever they get is gonna be all right with us, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's gonna be power. And them dudes, the guard they pick are gonna be like 320, 330. You put them guys next to that young rookie we had last year, Smith.
Yeah.
And then still back, how still be blocking. Man, that run game gonna be cold blooded. That screen game gonna be cold blooded. Man, the Cowboys gonna be a dangerous team, man. But the key, like I say, you make that defense even more solid. Make that defense like brick solid, man, in the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle. Because I know you said the Clemson guy.
Simpson.
Yeah.
Simpson. I think that he's pretty good. Jack Campbell, I like him coming out of the draft. Drew Sanders. There's a lot of linebackers we can get or / edge rushers we can get to solidify this team. I think that we are in the best spot available for all of our draft picks for the 2023 season based off of what we did during the free agency. And that's a good feeling and a good spot to be in. Even if you want to go draft a quarterback to develop, you can do that in any of these rounds, and you can make the justification for that without people getting angry and upset, because we pretty much got every spot on the table almost solidified outside of our offensive line. Yeah.
But we want to get that one more D tackle. We got fast linebackers already. Let's probably draft another linebacker, and they're gonna drop the corner, just like you said. They always drop corner.
They do that, yeah.
But the key, the tight end, you can get a tight end in any round. He's gonna play. It's gonna be a big blocking tight end, and the halfback. There's so many halfbacks. Man, it's like 20 halfbacks could become All-American, whatever team they go on. All the halfbacks can play, because everybody keep talking about this back. Oh, and then you said Skip Bayless. This gonna crack you along.
In closing,
Skip Bayless said the Texas halfback is a little faster than Pollard. Now, Skip Bayless, do your homework, you big dummy. Pollard ran a 4.3. This dude ran a 4.4. What is he talking about?
You know what he's talking about? Because, shout out to Skip Bayless and all what he do as far as stirring up the attention. You get almost half of the fan base to believe in what he's saying. He looking at the scouting report. Tony Pollard ran a 4.5, I think, in the combine or what have you, but on his pro day he ran like a 4.3 something. So what happened here is the combine numbers are more official, and by him just looking at that line, he looking at Bijan like he ran a 4.4. Just like my guy Zeke, he ran a 4.4. But we all know that his 4.4 is different from Tony Pollard's speed. One is quickness, one fast. But it is what it is, man. You know how Skip Bayless do. But I appreciate you for calling in, fam.
I love you, Sean Law. Keep it up.
No doubt. Salute.
How about them Cowboys?
No doubt, man. That's my guy for the 206, man. Damn. Good call for him. I got Coach Marv, man, always bringing a lot to the table, man. Then we got Montana, and then we got Action Jackson, man, in the house. All right, Coach Marv, man, from the 803, you're live. Holla at me, Coach.
What's going on, Law? I got, I got a conspiracy thing when sometimes when the Cowboys throw a little story out, because the Cowboys are famous for allowing stories to get out there, and we have to pay attention to the ones that come out and they don't talk about it as much.
Right.
Those are the ones usually are the ones that they're really doing, and they got a myth behind it. But I want to say this one thing first, Law, and I hear so much individuality talk in football about this guy won the Super Bowl, this quarterback won, so he's better than that quarterback. Right. Man, the quarterback won the Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls the quarterback won?
Right.
Man, football, I want people to understand this. Football is the greatest team sport in sports.
Talk to him, man.
There's no other sport that has as many working parts at one time that have to work in cohesion, and so many things have to go well, and so many different parts have to win battles and play well for you to win. That's why the Super Bowl itself is the biggest They may talk about soccer in the world, but when you talk about the biggest thing, because it is so many working parts. So when you try to individualize the game of football and say it's about the quarterback, or you try to individualize it about the line or a certain player, you're doing a misjustice to football, and you find yourself in arguments that says, oh, well, this quarterback won and that quarterback didn't win, so he must be better.
He must be better,
That's how you get yourself in there.
Brad Johnson must be the best quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
You took my words out of my mouth. Brad Johnson must be better. You're talking about the Mark Ripkins. He must be better. The Trent Dilford, he must be better. And those cases happen more than cases of guys winning the Super Bowl. You got to understand this. It is very special to get to the Super Bowl. Only 38 quarterbacks been to the Super Bowl. Starting quarterbacks. That's it. And only 30 of them don't won. So listen, that means you got a lot of people to come. So it's very special when you get a team to get to a Super Bowl. And that's why it's always said to people that when you get to a Super Bowl, that is one of the biggest team accomplishments you will ever do in your entire life, because it takes so many working parts to do well, and there's a lot of stuff that goes unheard of and unheralded that helps you get to those points. And what McCarthy was saying, what he has said, and I think I read the tea leaves of him, when you have been a Super Bowl winning coach, he understands that. He said he's not worried about if the quarterback has the best stats in the league.
Yeah.
He ain't worried about if the running back got the best stats in the league.
There you go.
He just want to be in the position where his total team is hosting up that Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. And most times when you look at it, it's the best team that wins. So that's one. And I just want people to think like that.
And that's why I brought up the fact that, and there was no shade or anything that I'm throwing. Rex Grossman, he took his team to the Super Bowl. Technically, they took him, right? The defense. You remember they were 13-3 that year. Yes, he threw for 23 touchdowns. I think it was 26 touchdowns collectively if you count the rushing touchdowns. And he threw for over 3,000 yards. But we all knew that Rex Grossman versus Peyton Manning, this was time for Peyton Manning to shine in that game. Peyton Manning still had an INT in that Super Bowl. They managed to win overall. But it goes to show you that sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle and you jump on teams before they realize who you are, what you can and can't do, and what your weapons are. And then the next year you fall flat on your face. I think the Chicago Bears haven't been back since that time frame. Deep runners in the playoffs.
I'm going to say this right quick, and then I'm going to go to my point where I think that the Cowboys moving with this draft. But listen, the only time the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, do we understand that they had a total team effort because they went with a backup quarterback the last 4 games at the end of the Super Bowl? He had one of the biggest games of his career, and he could never find a job since then.
Couldn't never.
This tells you that the team of Philadelphia won that Super Bowl. They were so good as a team that and when that guy got in that spot, he filtered off the other guys on that team, and they made it better. And the coaching staff let him do, but the team stepped up in all areas, and that's how they won the Super Bowl. So that's what it is. It's the greatest team sport and organization wins Super Bowl. But listen, Law, I sent you something, and I said if the Cowboys, I know they had this guy named Wilkerson in their building. He's a backup guard. I mean, he didn't start 36 games. 2 things with that. If they do sign that guy, I think that's great for depth purposes, injury insurance. I think that if they do sign him and draft a lineman, I don't know what type of lineman, and they draft a lineman early in this draft, that tells me that Ball leash is shorter than It's shorter than a bow-legged midget. I'm saying it's real short. It's short. It's real short. He's really short. So he ain't got but a couple more times to mess up, and he'll be out of here.
Yeah.
So, but when then the other thing that came out that they didn't say when they talked about the Dorrance Armstrong thing.
Okay.
Well, I got sources that tells me that Dorrance Armstrong has been woofing about he signed a low deal and he wants money because he feel like he should have got a bigger contract than he was. So the tea leaves are already on the wall, and Dorrance Armstrong was not the best run guy to setting the edge at all this year. So the tea leaves are telling me that they're done with Dorrance Armstrong after this year. They're not going to re-sign him. So if they talked about maybe trading to Atlanta to maybe get some compensation. And my question, my thing with that is good in three ways. One, saves cap space.
Right.
$7 million probably.
Yeah.
Two, it's better to get a pick for him now because it's going to be better than the comp pick you get when you let him go in free agency.
True. And you had to wait a whole another year for that. Yeah, go ahead.
That's right. Three, that's going to give you more snaps for Dante Fowler and Williams, and which they deserve more snaps because I think they're going to be even more productive with their snaps, and plus you're going to get a better play with them. Yeah. And four, the wild card in this whole thing is if they can get another, and I think and they were talking about a 75 pick, which would be a good trade for Atlanta, but they can get pick number 75. What that does now is that makes them even more powerful in this draft because now that gives them draft capital where if they were to decide to trade up for a guy that they want, or if they wanted to make a trade with somebody, let's say something crazy like a DeForest Buckner, they have a pick now that they can give up with some value where they can make a move and it didn't cost them a thing. Or they can even go to the point of saying we save $7 million on the salary cap. That's the money we can use to sign Steele to his long-term deal. Ooh. So they don't talk about that, but I think they're really thinking about that because that would be smart moving like chess. That
will be. Oh, my goodness, man. Move. Coach Marv, man, look, I'm definitely going to read into that, especially what you text me, because last time, man, you were right on the money with your inside source. So, yeah.
They look at draft capital so they can make a move, y'all. They think about making a move.
Let's go, man. I appreciate you, Coach Marv.
That's how they doing it.
Yes, indeed. That's Coach Marv, y'all, man. Appreciate you.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
Yes, indeed, man. Coach Marv, man, be right on the money with it. He was right on the money with it last time. And I was like, man, Coach catfishing me, man. He can't be real with this. And then the next day or 2 days later, the news broke. And I was sitting there like, dang, Coach Marv right on the money. And he said, man, I ain't here to catfish you or sell you or pull your chain around here. But or pull your tail. I can tell you guys this, though. That would be ideal. We got a loaded room with edge rushers. And it could be just that's why they re-up Tack McKinley just for an insurance piece so that when they go into the draft, they don't have to overreach maybe for a Miles Murphy or so on like that with the 26th pick, and then they can just let the board fall. And if Miles Murphy is their guy, then they can draft him. But they don't have to, right? They can still look at their situation and scenario and say, okay, we go get an inside guard or we go get that outside tackle, etc. So I do like the way the Cowboys move. And if they pick up more and more draft pieces with that type of acquisition and then they trade that away, it can be wonderful for us because whenever we do these mock drafts, we see a lot of picks that go away from us right at the 40th range, right at the 45, right? 40th range to the 45. So some of our guys that we covet, they go away. So even like people think that I don't like Mozzie. I look at Mozzie better at 58 versus at 26. And there's no hate thrown at Mozzie, and I see the push for Mozzie at 26. But it's hard pressed for me to think of a guy that's going to control the LOS that only got 6 tackles for loss in his career and 1 sack. I just don't. If he can barely move that conference around, what the hell y'all think he going to do on the next level? He ain't going to all of a sudden increase. Now, granted, hear me out. He don't have a Parsons on his side, right? But didn't he play with Aiden Hutchinson? Was he over there? You know, but that's a story of another day. But he don't have a Parsons on his side. He don't have Dan Quinn. Maybe that pick and that move will work for us. But shoot, man, that's some high premium stuff for what you might get out of Mozzie. And not just the stat that's alarming to me, his motor tends to turn off. If I'm going to draft the guy at the 26th spot, that motor better be burning. I want that motor to keep going. I don't want no motor to shut on or shut off a car when it's trying to go up the hill, stall off on me. But I'm not breaking down. Yeah, Law, he played with Aiden. So, man, he should have. I ain't gonna go too much, man. I got my guy from the 614. You live, fam. Talk to me, man.
No, boss, how you feeling, man? How's the family?
Man, all is well, man. All is well.
Man, I don't got too much to say, Law, man. You know me. You know I don't ride the wave as everybody else. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go ahead and say this, man. Cowboys fan, bro.
I'm listening to you, fam. I think we lost you, man.
12 years.
Okay, go. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
It's been 12 Super Bowls, right? 10 out of those 12 Super Bowls, who won those Super Bowls? Was it a quarterback, running back, receiver? Nah, dog. It was trenches, bro.
Okay.
O-line and D-line, man.
Oh, yeah?
If you guys want to win now, you build these trenches. You build the trenches. You get you a skilled player, all right, you might win a battle or two, but you will not win the war. You build the trenches, you win the war.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Everybody, let's go get Bijan. Man, I don't care for no Bijan, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's way 10 times better than Bijan next year. You go ahead, draft you a guy in the 4th round, you know what I mean, move on to these 1-year deals. Then you go replace you with Zeke next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody like Edge Rush, this, and the third. Look, bro, you can fire Edge Rush later on.
Yeah.
You build these trenches, man. A rookie running back ain't going to help.
Yeah.
As much as you think these rookie running backs is that, no one in this draft is that. They still need work. Everybody. That's including my man, Kerry Johnson, DeJuan Jones, C.J. Stroud, all these dudes. Joey Porters, they all need work. They need time.
Right. You're right.
If you want to win this year, you build these trenches. Dak has been on his backside because the trenches has been weak since 2016. It's just time. It's just time to rebuild the trenches, man. Don't wait too late until you start to get the same movement or you start to see the same pattern as a Tony Romo. Don't wait too late like they did with Tony Romo.
Man, it's knocking on the door with it.
Tony Romo a disservice.
Yep, 14 years. Yep, you've been in the league. Yep. I think
as I despise the way he did, and in the 4th quarters or whatever, they still did him a disservice. Why? Because they did not build those trenches.
Man, hello.
But that's all I got, man. I just want the Cowboys to do it right, man. Build the trenches, keep Dak up, and then you can go ahead and do all the other stuff.
Yeah, man, you ain't lying, Montana, man.
The majority of everything. What'd you say, Law?
No, I said you ain't lying, man. Trench warfare is where it's at.
It's where it's at.
And here's my thoughts on it. Whether it's Mozzie or Farazi, or whoever they go, Brian Breesy, it don't matter. It'll be philosophy for us, right? It'll be at least an attempt to build. But what people would like to do is like, hey, man, hold on. You know what I'm saying? But I would look at the philosophy. At least they having the attempt to build the trenches from the inside out as far as the defense and offense.
And
go ahead.
But this is the thing I want fans to also see, too. You know what I'm saying? They like, Patrick Mahomes this, Patrick Mahomes that. Okay, well, the year before, Patrick Mahomes couldn't even score in the Super Bowl. What did his front office do? They said, all right.
They don't want truth, though. Come on, Choctaw. You know they don't want that truth. They don't want that.
I know they don't want that truth. They seen that he struggled with no offensive line, so what they do? They got him on offensive line. Why was he back in the Super Bowl again?
Yeah, they built the trenches.
Okay, man. I mean, I digress, man. I just leave it to the fans to keep thinking they know everything.
Put it like this. Don't you know what would be crazy, though, fam? If Pat Mahomes had that offensive line his entire career, right? Just talking about just that. How would people view him? They would look at him like, man, that's a quarterback. They got weapons, man. That he can't find Tyreek Hill. He can't hit Travis Kelce. Man, that quarterback is terrible. That quarterback is trash. If he played every game like that Super Bowl, but people fail to realize how much that plays a role. I digress. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, man, all I got to say is for everybody that want to put all these quarterbacks over your own quarterback, let's switch roles. Let's give Dak Prescott, Andy Reid, an EB. Let's go ahead and give him a better front office that's not stubborn. Or, let's give those same quarterbacks a Jason Garrett who froze his quarterback 3 times in one game. You know what I'm saying? Or let's get him a subpar. Let's get these quarterbacks D-plus defenses. Or let's get them a Jerry Jones.
Man, you know what?
Let's see how they fare.
They got short-term memory because I said I will find a crow, and I will pluck the feathers and put it on the table and eat it live. If Jason Garrett goes to the Giants and turn their program around as far as their offense, and he's supposed to have been this great guy, Jason Garrett is the reason why. It's the reason why he's no longer in the NFL. But people gloss over that and still point at the quarterback. It's crazy.
He didn't even get an offer from college.
But hey, Montana, we don't know football though, fam. We don't know football. We don't know football though.
Hey, we don't know it, fam. It's not like we never played before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, we need to, as fans, we need to stop overhyping, overrating these players because they fall in good situations. When it comes to the NFL, it's always been about situations. It's never been about how good the person is, because if you make it to the NFL, you got to be some type of talented.
Man.
Period.
Bro.
I don't care where you was drafted. I don't care if you were undrafted free agent. If you're playing in the NFL, that doesn't mean I don't care if you're a practice squad guy. If you are on somebody's franchise and they took you into their home, you have some type of talent.
Yeah.
That's what the fans they fail to realize these things. You know what I'm saying? It's always about situations. Let's put Patrick Mahomes on the freaking Cleveland Browns when Johnny Manziel was there with Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie, baby, I appreciate you, man, so much for calling in, fam.
That's all I got. I just want people to be logical and stop just thinking with their heart. You know what I mean? That's all I got, man.
No
appreciate
doubt.
you, Law.
That's a good call from the 614. All right, so trenches, man. All right, so the Jalin Carter versus the Mozzie. I've seen somebody want to talk about that. All right, so Jalin Carter, I think he in this next level, he's going to play 3-tech. I don't think that you'll play him at the 1 or over the 0 tech. I just look at Jalin Carter as a 3-tech. Now, granted, 2 different schemes, 2 different things that you ask for. The on and off motor was there too with him, and 18 and a half tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and juxtaposed to what Mozzie did. If you looking at the stat line in his career, 6 tackles for loss. They don't move the needle that much for me. I love his lateral movement on the line, but I need some penetration. You know, at some point you got to penetrate. And if you think I'm lying, ask the ladies. At some point you got to penetrate. You just moving around the LOS, don't move the needle. and you're going to have to penetrate when you get to this next level. And the one, and technically his sack is a half of a sack, not even a full sack that he got on his resume. Now, I hope that if he get drafted by the Cowboys, he can generate and then he can penetrate and do all of those things for us. But the more than likely scale of it is very slim than it is possible. And that's just how it goes. So I know just grazing and moving along the LOS, stopping this and stopping that, at some point, I need the results. And I don't want you guys to Nava says you got to keep it PG-13. I think the 13-year-olds and under wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. But, hey, I was listening to Law Nation, and he said, Mommy, he told me to ask the ladies, well, what do he mean about penetrating? He said you can stay along the LOS, but hey, what did he mean about penetrating? That's gonna be a wise 13-year-old kid out there one day. All right, I got my guy Action Jackson, man, for the 945. You're live.
Say, man, we ain't in the country, but you can't be getting in that game too strong.
They getting the game too strong.
Say, man, don't play. Hey, y'all, leave my man alone. Don't play my man, man. Leave him alone, man. He just,
it just be a well-informed cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That kid be well-informed. He said, look, Daddy, I understand what you're doing, but Daddy, he got to penetrate. I understand him being along the LOS.
Daddy, I don't want to just be on the LOS. I don't want to just be straddling the fence.
Daddy, I want to be able to penetrate. I want to get to the quarterback and grab a snack on the way.
Stop that, man. Before you be more responsible than baby more than Keith Sweat and Jodeci.
Keith Sweat ain't got nothing on me. you know, and then Keith Sweat bagged too much. You know what I mean?
Hey, he's still begging, right?
Yeah. My mama told me when I was young. She said there's two type of men that a woman don't like. A whining man and a begging man. Don't be those type of men. And then I tell you what, my mom, boy, she told me a valuable lesson. So I don't beg and know I whine about it. You know, I just go get it.
That's so no masculinity when you doing either one of those. You know what I mean? That's facts, but that's facts. All right, but what I want to talk about. Okay, let me get some clarity on what you was talking about earlier.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott. What was before I even have pushback on you? I want to know what you was talking about. What was the conversation about with Burrow and Dak?
Clearly, coming out of let me say this. Clearly, coming out of the draft, Joe Burrow is better than Dak Prescott, right?
Clear.
Right. All right. So take that, put it on the shelf, right? All right.
Okay.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase coming out of college better than C.D. Lamb. Yes or no?
Yeah.
You put that on Chase. All right. You put that on the table.
Yeah.
T. Higgins, is he better than Noah Brown? Yes or no? Or Michael Gallup? Yes or no?
Yes.
You put that on the shelf. Tyler Boyd, you know what I'm saying? He's the third wide receiver. He's better than the trough of weapons that we had here. And even if we saying those things, even with Joe Mixon getting 1,300 yards juxtaposed to what we had with Ezekiel Elliott, even if that can be the straw man's argument, one can argue that Zach Taylor, as a coach in the National Football League, he is better than Jason Garrett. Yes or no?
Oh yeah, he got the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So you take all of those things and what the Cowboys organization and what the people, the fan base want us to think, that all of a sudden you take all of those good things and you just dismiss it and say, all right, we supposed to win the Super Bowl with Jason Garrett, who's not even in the league. You take Zach Taylor, who is the actual coach there, and you put his resume out there, there will be 31 other teams or other teams that have an open, available option. They will pick that guy up to coach their said team. So here is what I'm having issues with. people think that just because we had some weapons on our team and some philosophies on our team as it relates to Papa Rob Marinelli with his defense philosophy and what he did with the Chicago Bears, I believe in 06, that was the last time he made it to the Super Bowl, is that we were going to go to the Super Bowl, that we should have been in the Super Bowl. And then they take everything off the table and say it's Dak Prescott's fault. But go ahead.
Yeah, but and if I'm not correct with that Tampa Bay team, Marinelli wasn't even the head guy. It was what is his name? The old man.
The older man.
Monty Kiffin.
Monty Kiffin. So that's why I use old boy. I'm talking about old boy Papa Rob Marinelli for the 06 Bears. Was he on the 06 Bears as the defensive coordinator there?
No, I think that was
Cause I know Lovie Smith was the head coach, but I thought
Lovie Smith was the head. Yeah, okay, I think Rob Marinelli was he the defensive coach?
It could have been.
He may have been.
But the last time, that's the last time we known of things. But here's what I'm trying to say, man. Yes, we have our flaws. Yes, we have our inefficiencies. But those are things that we can't say. All right, well, Joe Burrow's better, and Joe Burrow was able to take his team. It was not just Joe Burrow. It was a whole trough of other things that was better. Now, if Joe Burrow, now the only way that we would have the exact same different result, the exact same different thoughts would be if Joe Burrow was here under Jason Garrett, right? And then we would have been able to use that argument, but we can't.
Okay. Let's go hypothetical.
Okay.
Put Burrows where Dak was, even with Jason Garrett. Do you think we have better outcomes this season?
I think we would have more of the same. We would have more of the. We would have. I think Joe Burrows would have been like the Tony Romo. Him and Tony Romo and Joe Burrows have been the same. We have been presented the same. I think Joe Burrows now is where Tony Romo was his 7th to 8th year with the Cowboys.
Okay. Now put Dak on the team where Burrows got sacked the third most in NFL history. Do you think Dak can do the same and go to the Super Bowl?
Those are things that we don't know because for the simple fact, that's what I'm saying. That's the unknown. That's the unknown. So Dak probably, put it like this: either Dak would have been out of the league, just like who else in that draft is still in the league? Jacoby Brissett, right?
Man,
2016.
It's crazy how Dak was the forgotten quarterback, and now he's like the cream of the crop. You know what I mean?
Either way, Dak would have either been out of the league or he would have been one of the quarterbacks that people would have been looking at it like, damn, that's a real good quarterback for a 4th round steal. I think that the only reason why Dak Prescott is painted, the only reason why Dak Prescott is painted with the brush that he is painted with is because he played with the Cowboys. I think that he would have been another guy that,
Your push is saying that Dak came with people got to remember that he is a 4th round quarterback. You know what I'm saying? In other words, Joe Burrow came out and he was expected to be able to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was his expectations. But to be fair to anyone, with the Dak Prescott situation, he's no longer a 4th round quarterback. To be fair, he's a $40 million quarterback. So we'll have to judge him by what the other $40 million quarterbacks are doing, right? Yes or no?
Okay.
So let's start from there. So now you got to put Dak in the realms of Geno Smith. He's got 39. He just got 39. Derek Carr, he got 40-something. Matt Ryan, Stafford, Josh Allen. So now Dak Prescott is.
What would you say your top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL?
My top.
I wouldn't say 5. Give me 6. Give me your top 6.
Damn. The number 1 quarterback in the NFL right now is Pat Mahomes. I mean, right now, because of what is surrounding him, the coaching staff, the overall, and what he's able to do day in and day out. And then from there, by being no longer Aaron Rodgers, I have to still put Aaron Rodgers up there just for the sake of he's Aaron Rodgers and his resume, right? I mean, come on.
Right.
Tom Brady, he's gone, right? Russell Wilson, he's faded away. He used to be a top 5 quarterback. He's faded away now because of the new system, and he have not been the same.
At one point in time, I had Russell Wilson as like part of the most accomplished black quarterback in NFL history.
The most accomplished black quarterback in the NFL history.
Before Pat Mahomes. This is before Pat Mahomes.
Before Pat Mahomes. All right, so I do love the quarterback talk, but don't you know, here's the thing. Don't you know when Russell Wilson fell off the map, don't you know what happened? What do you think would happen?
When he fell off in Seattle?
No. Why is Russell Wilson is not presented as a good quarterback anymore? Don't you know what happened?
That thumb injury?
Oh, man, damn, boy, you've been following. He broke his thumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
the same. That's what, but yeah, you know I've been following a lot. But you know the same thing though with Dak. That's what I was trying to tell people. Like look how Russell Wilson struggled after that injury. That was man. Come on, man. We just see Russell Wilson drop the ball out the moon, just teardrop.
Yeah.
I mean, where did the pros go? Where did they go?
So let me ask you this. So what was Russell Wilson before that thumb injury?
He's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, he's still a Hall of Famer now, right? So Russell.
I'm just saying, he's a Hall of Famer predicated on what he did, though.
I mean, right? What I'm trying to say is, what was Russell Wilson before the thumb your number 2 or number 3 quarterback in the National Football League?
I give him number 3. I would give him right there up under Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, no, I'll give him 4 under Mahomes, too. You know what I'm saying? It was Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes. That was the cream of the crop. Years ago, not right now.
Years ago. All right, that was before the thumb, and that wasn't that long ago. So what I'm trying to say is, if Dak is right around there, and I know I'm going to get pushed back from the Josh Allen crews, I think that Joe Burrows, if you want to use resume and what he did so far, going to the Super Bowl or what have you, still losing, you would still have to consider Joe Burrows ahead of Dak Prescott. You would still...
which would be number 3, right?
Which would be number 3. And if you look at what Justin Herbert did, right? Head-to-head with Dak Prescott. He never beaten Dak Prescott. But if it was the shoe reverse, then, of course, they would say, well, hey, Dak never beat Justin Herbert, so therefore Justin Herbert's better, right? But Dak, to me, is better than Justin Herbert. But that's a story of another day, right? It's because what happened here... Go ahead.
How did you come to that conclusion, though?
Who won head-to-head? If you want to do head-to-head, if you want to do head-to-head, plus total body of resume. Not just hit. I'm not, because a lot of people say, well, hold on. Jimmy Garoppolo beat Aaron Rodgers, so therefore he should be better than Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying it that way. I'm doing total body of resume and what they did in games to be separate of each other. You see what I'm saying? But here's how it goes from here. Regardless of what I say, it will always be, hey, man, Law is just a Dak Prescott apologist.
Yeah, the team's they're gonna put that narrative on you.
They're gonna put that narrative on him. But I heard Colin Kaepernick, but Colin Cowherd say that Josh Allen is way ahead of Lamar Jackson. And then he got on the show. I can't play audio anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll claim it, even just the audio. So I done got a hold of Fox, they're cricket self. I can't even play audio now. But what I'm gonna say here is, when he put, yeah. So what I'm gonna say here is, he used an analysis of Josh Allen being better than Lamar Jackson, but he excluded 15 games. That's a whole season almost. So of course, Josh Allen numbers would look better than Lamar Jackson. But those two boys are not in the same chemistry of how their team is constructed. But both of those guys got to be in the same room. So you got to still pay. You still got to pay them the same. You can't sit there and say Lamar Jackson should get a $42 million contract. He shouldn't get paid less. when you got Kyler Murray getting 49 or 48. So the contract for Lamar Jackson got to be in the 50s. He's trying to make the argument that Lamar Jackson should get paid what Josh Allen got, but less. You know, and it don't work that way because here's how it goes from here. That's why I said total body of work. Because Kyler Murray never lost to Dak Prescott, right?
Right.
But the total body of work and resume, Dak resume and total body of work is better than Kyler Murray. That's why I said total body of work. But it goes crazy, bro. I'm for real.
Yeah, you know, Kyler Murray I don't think he ever lost in the state of Texas. You know what I mean? Like straight up, I don't think he ever lost like a big game in the state of Texas, like through high school, college, all that. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It's just crazy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just want to just see we'll get some clarification on that before I give you any pushback on that Dak. Cause you be riding my boy Joe Burrow, you know, LSU boy. You be riding pretty tough, Law. I ain't, you know, you'll throw Burrow in there quick now, Law.
Yeah. Now you want to fight me? I like Trevor Lawrence over Joe Burrow. So what, you want to fight me now? Pick up the pool stick and fight me, man. Come on, man. Outlaws, baby.
All right, my man. Keep doing what you do, baby.
No doubt, man. Salute to you. That's action. I mean, you from Mississippi, though, right? Come on, man. You know how we got.
I'm from Louisiana, man. I'm your neighbor, man.
And you the neighbor, man. What part of Louisiana you from, though? By the way,
I'm from Lake Providence, Louisiana.
Lake Providence.
An hour away from Monroe.
Man, they don't play around Monroe, West Monroe. They don't play around that area, man.
Hey, I'll tell you like I'm an hour away from Greenville.
All right. Hey, that hurricane or the tornado didn't mess up anything over there where you at, right?
Nah.
You didn't touch that area.
It barely missed.
Yeah, man. But keep calling in, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, my man.
That's good. That's Action Jackson. Baby, you know what I'm saying? From my neck of the woods, man.
The conference has been locked.
All right, we got from the 281, and then we have the 205, man. Those are my next two. From the 281, Big Pimpin'. You're live.
Hey, thank you, Lord, for taking my call. Hey, man, but I want you to think about something. You remember back in the day, Wade Phillips was the head coach, right?
Right.
And our offensive coordinator at that point of time was who? Jason Garrett, right?
Jason Garrett.
And Jason Garrett sabotaged that season so he could become head coach when Wade Phillips got fired. But, you know, that's that conspiracy theory, and I digress on that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's to let you know. And the only reason why he was still in the league was because of the Jones was in love with him for what he did when he was a backup quarterback with the Cowboys. He ain't been good at all. But the Jones couldn't see through all the muddy windows.
Look, let me ask you this, though, Big Pimpin'. And I get a lot of pushback on this. I'm on record saying that we had at least one Super Bowl and at least two Super Bowl appearances if we either did these things right here. If you had 5 to 6 more years with Bill Parcells, or if Sean Payton were to be our next coach for this team, a better kind of caliber of coach would have made us there. Because I was crazy enough, because of course we didn't have YouTube and we didn't have Facebook like we do now, but I was on record saying that my Tony Romo was better than Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, and as well as Big Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning. It was the coaching that was the issue and the philosophy upon our approach. Do you think I need to be in an insane asylum for thinking that, or do I have any valid points with that?
You got valid points, but here's the situation with that. Bill Parcells was an old school coach, and he wasn't no yes man. So
True.
He wasn't going to kiss Jerry Jones' rear end.
Right.
He was going to go in and go buy his own groceries. Okay? And Jerry didn't want that. That's why he got rid of Jimmy Johnson. Okay, and brought in Barry Switzer. You know, that boy. Okay? So that's why he brought him in. All right? And that's why we had what we had. Through Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips, all of them down the line. And so because they kissed Jerry Jones' and they let him run the team. But see, like I say, Bill Parcells, and you're right, Bill Parcells wanted to buy his own groceries.
Right.
But see, the downfall came in there because Bill Parcells didn't want Terrell Owens on the team at all.
He didn't.
You know, he stepped on the star. Okay, so he didn't want him on the team at all.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones was the one who brought him in.
Right.
So that's where it started going downhill.
Mm.
So you do have a point. Better coaching would have got us some more Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's just how I look at it. I know injuries played a major role as far as Tony Romo's career, but also scheme and coaching played another one. Right? Like some of those things, like the Gronkowski hit that Tony Romo took, shattered his collarbone the first time. Just a horrid play design. And then the other Gronkowski was Chris Gronkowski. He allowed the sack to occur on Tony Romo. He whiffed on the down block. And then the other one, of course, in 2015, it was just battered and bruised. Hicks came through from the Eagles, and I think that we were lined up empty because we motioned 21, the other 21 on the outside, Joseph Randall on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Leaving it empty. Right. And people fail to realize we've been running the same play since 2007.
Right, and everybody knew him.
And everybody knew him. Yep. If you hear all of the old players, and they'll come back and say, yeah, we know what Cowboys like to do. We know their philosophy. It's just that the quarterback learned to mask a ton of that crap up. And if you ever notice, when this team started to look good, when we started doing hurry-up offense, and when the quarterback was able to control the field and do audibles, that means that they took shit away from the offensive coordinator or Jason Garrett. And the same could be said about even with Dak Prescott. When we do that hurry-up offense, get things going, hit players on rhythm, we tend to move the ball easier versus listening in what the play call is being called.
That's right.
Yep.
I agree. I agree. But look, the reason why I called in,
what's that?
Because I feel what y'all are saying about the line. I mean, I have kept calling in. This is about the third time I called, and each time I brought up the fullback and the offensive and defensive line. Okay, because that is what we need. You remember I told you that. You remember when we had Nate Newton, Eric Williams?
Yeah.
We had them big boys on the line, and then we had a fullback, Bill Johnson, and then we had Emmitt Smith. Okay, but we need to go back to that. So I don't care that, we bring in more and more line, and we bring in more and more defensive line, because I feel like, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, we just signed the boy that we traded for the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Okay, so why can't we put Bo Hannon as our other defensive tackle and make that we have two big 330-pound boys on the defensive line that would take the press off the linebackers? Why can't we do that?
I feel you. I feel you with that. Here's my thing. The thing is with defensive tackles, we want our guys to clog the running lanes up and to create space and get upfield. But the only problem is with that is that our big boys just didn't do that. Quentin just don't do that. He got the size, but he got the strength and all of the other things that people like, but he just wasn't that guy that can get upfield, and he can occupy two. I love two gappers, you know what I'm saying? But the only problem is with that is that the bigger you are, you're gonna have to get rotated in and out and these sorts of things, and what you're looking for, you just not getting it from Quentin.
Tampa Bay had them too. Okay, but then you remember Tampa Bay when they won the championship? They had Villa. Mm-hmm. And then what was the other big dude that they had, that Philadelphia just had on their defensive line?
It's the tip of my tongue, but I know what you're saying. But here's my thought. Here's my thoughts of it. When we go back and forth with Mozzie, right? The Mozzie situation. We get Mozzie. He's going to be the big boy that's going to push things back. And if you look at Quentin Big Bohanna's resume, he was another guy that coming out of college, he only had 2 sacks for his whole entire college career, 1 forced fumble. And the year that he was drafted, only 2.5 tackles for loss. I'm looking at his resume. So even though if you got guys that can occupy the LOS, they're not penetrating. Big Vita Vea, he can do it a little bit both. He can occupy the LOS plus penetrate. He's a big guy that can give you sacks, give you 5 to 6 sacks a season. We have been voided of that because we just didn't draft those type of guys. And now we're talking about drafting more of the same. I need big boys with production that can get tackles for losses. If you really contextualize tackles for losses and use them properly from a defensive tackle, that is equivalent to a sack. Meaning that if you can get your big boy to not only occupy 2 gaps, but get a field, then that will create more havoc and create more and more pressure for your quarterback so that you can have a dominant defense. So that's how you see teams like the DeForest Buckner or other guys that we wanted, like the let's say Daron Payne with double-digit sacks or what have you from the interior, not only occupying the LOS, but getting us fair and within reasonable results along that LOS by penetrating. And the Cowboys, they have been neglecting in that department, and that's the missing piece for the Cowboys, in my opinion.
Right. I agree. Okay, I was just wondering, man. I was
No doubt.
wondering why they just don't put no big 300-pound boys up there and to keep them off the linebackers. That's why our linebackers are constantly getting hurt.
This is why.
Because the guards and stuff can always get to them.
Yep.
And so, when you remember, because I brought up like Vince Warford when New England had him.
Yeah.
But they also had somebody else on side of him that was 300 pounds too.
Yeah, they did. They had They had two 300 big boys up front. Yeah.
So that's all, man. But thank you for accepting my call, man. I do appreciate everything that you do, bro.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, Big Pimpin', man. Hold it down for us, man, from the 281, man. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah. Yeah, good call from him. But I hope that you guys get what I'm saying. And there's no shade upon Big Bo. He does a hell of a job of improving every year. I think he took a step forward. I think that Gallimore, he took a step back. They needed 300-pound guy to push weight, to penetrate, and to do two-gap things. And last season was a regression season for him. He had gained the weight, got up to 320, but he had lost some of the quickness, some of the things that we love for him to do coming out of OU. And he was no longer the Canadian bulldozer. He was a Canadian, I'm losing my base. He played with that narrow base, and he was slipping and sliding. And so many times, too many times, you've seen him get thrown out of the club. If you think I'm lying, the best film to look at to see him getting thrown and pushed around like a rag dog was against the Eagles. We can all say that, yeah, we've seen that from multiple situations, but the reality of it, even when you look back at my guy Osa, a lot of people would say, hey, man, he's terrible against the run. No. The only time Osa last season was getting gashed when they was trying to fabricate pressure up the middle. And how do you fabricate it? By twist stunts. And when you twist stunt, and if a team nails it and call the right play at the right time, they're going to gash you for 20 yards. They're going to gash you for 15 yards because you're leaving the middle of the field, whether it's B or A gap, open while you twisting. So the Cowboys, I think that big Jonathan Hankins is a good situation for us, but he's only good at 15 to 20 snaps. After that, the law of diminishing rates of return into the building, and then you see some regressions with him. So if the Cowboys are serious about this big boy situation, even if, I'll put an olive branch out there, even if the Cowboys with the 26th pick get Mozzie, at least it'll be a philosophy move, but expect more of the same as it relates to them in middle of the game, during the tail end of the game, trying to fabricate the pressure by twist stunting because he will not get home on a consistent basis. I need a disruptor. I need an agitator. I need somebody about that business that can not only shut down the running lanes, but can get off with that motor and get upfield and make the quarterback pay. Next caller will be from my guy from the 205, Cam. Oh, Cam, you live.
Man, the law, man, I'm at work with it. But I was thinking, me and my brother, we sat down yesterday and we had the mock draft simulator. He did it for his Chargers. I did it for my Cowboys.
Okay.
And he mad that Kellen Moore there. I'm talking about he lived it. He lived it. He's been livid since the trade. Since Kellen Moore came over there. But I want to ask you, when we was doing the mock draft yesterday, B-Rob, you know B-Rob, from Texas. He came up. So I had ended up choosing B-Rob. I want to ask you, do you think he's that Ezekiel Elliott that we was missing? Like, if we do pick him up for the 26, we got the 26 pick. If we do pick him up, do you think that'll be A+ for day one of the draft, or what do you think that will land us in a way?
Well, he would be, although we don't have a running back. Well, he's like 220. How big is Robinson, y'all? Y'all put it down in the chat. I think he's more like 220, 225-ish, 4.4 speed. He would give you a great complementary situation to Tony Pollard, to Rojo, as well as Malik Davis. That will be your running back room. And it won't be a pick, whereas everybody should be moving furniture around. He would bring that excitement. The Texas area would love it. The Hook'em fans would love it because he would be playing. He grew up loving the Cowboys, from my understanding. I think that Bijan Robinson would be a great pickup. However, it will be a situation whereas year 2, year 3, you better be starting to figure out ways to continue to look at running backs, because that drop off after that first and second year is going down. I was on the phone, I believe, with my guy, Boss Cowboy, and I said, you know who Robinson remind me of? And he said, what? His speed factor in some games looked like 2018 and 19 Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Already in the league, Zeke. So the law of diminishing rates of return is heavier on him. I think that if you're looking for that explosive dynamite out of a running back, you can lean on Spears, you can lean on A-Chain, you can probably lean on Gibbs. I think that will give us more of that spark. And I know you've seen games. You look at that Tennessee games, Alabama versus Tennessee. Gibbs was blocking. Wasn't he blocking? You know what I'm saying? Although y'all lost, but was he blocking? He's a willing blocker. He's not the best blocker, but he would get in there. He would sacrifice everything. He, in my opinion, already Gibbs probably be a little bit better blocker than Tony Pollard.
Right. But see, and that's why I always said, and you remember I said it all year when people are like, oh, we need to trade Zeke. I was like, Zeke is that guy that'll get out there and block. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like play action. He's sitting in the back. Okay, I'm finna block you. Give that time to even throw it to me once I run outside or whatever. But see, that's why that's why I'm so high on Jahmyr Gibbs, because when it comes to Jahmyr got, like I said, he's small.
Yeah.
He ran a 4.3. He won a 4.3. That was his second attempt, official time. So by him running the 4.3, and then not only that, if you see, he can be a wide receiver if he wanted to. You see what I'm saying? Because he got hands too. He can catch. And then if he's overthrown, I remember Bryce Young almost overthrew him. Jahmyr Gibbs went up in the air. He got it. He brought it back down. He's that factor that I feel like it's the new running back, where you got to know how to catch. Right. You got to know how to get downfield and catch. You got to know how to run. You got to know how to read your blocks. I feel like that position itself is evolving, and it's becoming to where, like you said, like we said a while ago, football is now a throwing league. You have to throw. We need those explosive plays. So if you got a running back who can do those things and more, I feel like it will help the Cowboys out a lot, because that way you can also take the pressure off Tony Pollard, because we know he can catch.
Yeah.
We know he fast. He can get upfield. So if you got two players of that type of caliber doing that, you know the headache that these defenses will have. Because I'm not worried about our defense. We can only get better, and we will get better, and we have been the better side of the Cowboys. But it's just the offense that I'm worried about, because we haven't had that like you said, 2017, 2018 Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I mean? You haven't had that.
You're right on that, Cam. And on top of that, think about this: the Niners, they're gonna bring physicality. Do they have an Ezekiel Elliott in their backfield? Do they have a B. John Robinson type in their backfield? No. They have two like Gibbs type of guys right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They have Christian McCaffrey, and then they have the other kid. His name is tipping my tongue. They don't have a big burly back, but they do have a tight end. In this draft, they got a guy that's similar to that tight end that the Niners got, that the Cowboys can bring in and do the same thing. And his name is Hunter Lupke. I can't say that man's name to save my life, but he's from North Dakota, man. Y'all, I'm gonna copy paste. I'm gonna copy paste, and I'm gonna put it in here so that you guys can look his highlights up and see what all he can do. And he's like a hybrid tight end, but he's a fullback, right? He's a good blocker. He's a sneaky guy. I like him. If you fool around and draft him and say, all right, I'm going into this draft with either a Gibbs, a Tony Pollard, a Malik Davis, or an A-Chain Tony Pollard, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go and get that burly, physical, big back, to do those things. They use Debo as a running back, but to be fair, Debo is 215, Tony Pollard's 212, 215. You see what I'm saying? So it's just two different styles of runnings, of course, and Debo is considered a more thickly built on a lower body, but you can get some of those things similar.
But and I know some people don't want to touch a running back, or Gibbs in the first round. Matter of fact, I think somebody put that in the chat.
True.
But the reason why I said that is because look at Zeke. By the time we got a running back to help Zeke was already ran down.
True.
Zeke, he was already losing that next gear so that's why I'm looking at it with Pollard, and then the injury that Pollard have, and I don't think he'll be back week 1. I really don't. But hopefully we can get a running back. That way we can have that boom bam, thank you ma'am type backfield to where you can rest people. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at Zeke back when he first came to the league, you'll admit his first 3 years he was a dog.
Yeah.
He was a dog, man. And how I look at it is, that same dog had the ball in his hands a whole lot and was getting tackled a whole lot. So, I always told my stepdad, I said, I know you're an Eagles fan, but I was like, we need to get somebody back there for Zeke before he be worn out, and then boom, Zeke get worn out. Now we're trying to blame Zeke for everything, but it all starts with the front office in April. Every time the draft come around, it always starts with that front office, and the only thing we can do now is just sit back, wait, see what the draft is going to be, wait, see how the draft is going to go. But one guy that I'm fully committed to have is Gibbs, and like I said, Michael Parsons being out there on the edge is not his. He can do it, but I don't think that's him. We have to get maybe like a Will Anderson or a good edge rusher so that we can move Michael Parsons around. Just think about how he was when we was able to move him around. Think about how teams used to praise this freshman, even if his freshman year, even his second year in the NFL, people praised this man because they were like, you have to account for this man. So it ain't like he took a slump. I think he was 2 tackles below where he did his first year, 2 sacks below where he did his first year. But if you look at it, you still got to account for this man. I understood that once they had an account for Michael Parsons, they was able, like look at the Eagles game when Jalen Hurts played the Eagles when Jalen Hurts was in. You seen how they kept attacking that side of Michael Parsons, right?
Right.
And it was like people were like, "Oh, damn, Michael can't get his head wrapped around the game, or he just out of it or stuff." But see, when you got somebody accounting for, you know how to scheme against that.
Yeah.
You really know how to scheme against somebody who's accounted for. But when you have somebody who's all over the field and you can't account for, I feel like, that's when, and they already dangerous like he is, I feel like that's what gives offensive coordinators offensive coordinators and offensive players headaches, because we can't account for this man no matter what we do. That's because he's not on the edge 90% of the time. He's everywhere on the field, everywhere. And I feel like if we can get Parsons back to that and get an edge rusher to who can play that to the wheels fall off, I feel like we'll have that better defense. And if we can get just a running back to help Pollard, because it ain't looking like we're gonna play Davis for real, which I like him too, because the times that he did get in, he showed some explosiveness. So, just get somebody that that you'll put out there and just not be on the bench, waiting to get some playing time.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for calling in, Cam. Man, always bringing in some good stuff, man. And hey, I'm not gonna sleep on your boy DJ Dell too. Is a big boy, no doubt inside.
Oh no,
I ain't gonna sleep on Dell, man.
Look, it's a lot of them boys, man, that I'm looking at in the draft from other teams too, and I'm like, man, because like I said, that draft that we had last night, man, my wife had to kick us out the house, man, because she was like, y'all too loud, man. Y'all too loud. And I was like, man, this how football lives. But man, Law, man, I just also, man, want to thank you, man, for, like I said, man, I'm always thank you, man, for doing this. And man, just always coming with content. It don't matter what you're doing, man. And we know you have a family, but man, you always come and you give us content. You give us inspiring words. At the end of every stream, man, I like coming on here. I like giving my takes, like hearing other people's takes, like seeing how the comments just blow up. And it's always like a party, man. And like I say, ain't no party like a Law Nation party, man. This is what it's all about, man. Bro. Thank you to Vach and all y'all, man, for doing this, man. But I think you and Mark Holmes were some of the first few people that when y'all started, I was there. I think I was there for like your third or second year in YouTube. I'm thinking it was second, and I was with Mark Holmes. I think his second year within or his first year or whatnot. And man, I kid y'all not, man. Y'all always giving us great Cowboy content, man. I thank y'all for that, man.
Man,
Keep
I
rocking,
appreciate that, man. Soft spot in my heart, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah,
no problem.
Good call from him. A lot of stuff to digest with all of that. Cowboy Nation, look, I'm not here to be right. I'm just here to spit my mind, and there will be people right, there will be people wrong, and just enjoy the process. Right? Because day in and day out, y'all going to get Law Nation's true thoughts about his thoughts about it. And you seeing like the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder networks, those boys are coming down to where we at. And I love seeing that. You know what I'm saying? The Skip Bayless, the Stephen A. Smith, Marcellus Wiley, man, all of those boys coming off of the high chairs that they are in and coming to the space and speaking to the people, right? I know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt with my mind, we can have 3 to 4 million subscribers and followers if I talked all sports and include everyone. but I would rather keep it real and talk to you guys about the Cowboys and not just talk about everything, man. We could have had thousands and thousands upon views just yesterday going over the Final Four and going over the basketball game, LSU versus Iowa. We could have went over all of that, you know what I'm saying? But, I just keep it Cowboys. Keep it Cowboys. But it may be a time that I'm doing all of the content and all of the sports. So I just want you guys to stay with me, keep rocking with your boy over here and doing these things, man. But to talk about Bijan Robinson and Ezekiel Elliott, I think that both of those boys were two different running backs, right? Numbers may be similar, style may be similar, but Zeke was that dude. I can't imagine a draft Zeke falling all the way to the 26th spot his rookie year. If Ezekiel Elliott was coming out of this draft right now, would he be the 26th pick? Would 20 other teams pass up on Zeke right now, knowing what you know now? Who got San Diego State winning today, man? You know what I'm saying? Or who y'all got? Y'all got UConn winning, Don't forget, if you do, man, you may hit that $10 million prize. Just use underdog score promotion code LAW. You know what I'm saying? Just type LAW, you know what I'm saying? First overall is from Choctaw, Montana. Yeah. Blake says, we all love the Cowboys. It's cool we can all give our opinions. Salute, Law. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Yeah, if 2015 Ohio State Zeke, he would go top 10. Dude was a beast. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not trying to take away from Robinson. And if he do come in here and he will be like I ain't going to call him great value brand Zeke or the dollar store brand Zeke, he will be a guy that I can still see within the confines, because I'm not selling nor denigrating him. He come here, he'll have less responsibilities than he had in Texas. He'll have a better O-line here, a better all-around quarterback, a better wide receivers on the opposite side, on the outside. He make him ball, you know what I'm saying? So I try not, the hardest thing to do when evaluating these guys is not to look at them as an isolated piece. I may give y'all my raw thoughts on it, but I go back to saying that even if Mozzie get here, it'll be beneficial for us, right? Because of the philosophy. Mozzie, in my opinion, will be a better version of what Quentin Bohanna is doing for us right now. Even if we figure out a way to go get DJ Dale, you know what I'm saying? Not Cali. And DJ Dale come here, and it will be a better situation as far as a philosophy. The principles that will be here. You know what I'm saying? JB says, I'm hoping our next group of backs know how to pick the blitz up like Zeke, or Dak going to have a long year repping the nation from masses. Tootses. Yeah, appreciate you, man. J-May, appreciate you, man. All right, so we got another caller, man. We got two more callers that's hitting here on the line. We got the 971 and then the 815, but the 971, you're live.
What's happening, McCall?
No, man, it's Adams County all day, man. NTZ.
McCall in the house, baby.
No, I thought you were Brookhaven, though, bro. You McCall?
No, y'all from Brook, baby. I'm from Brook.
Oh, okay, good. Because the Macomb Mall is the only thing we do. Macomb got the mall, right? Brookhaven got the mall. Which one got the mall?
I think it's Macomb.
Yeah, Macomb got the mall. Yeah. Brookhaven had the Walmart. Yeah. See, that Walmart was like y'all mall. You know what I'm saying, over there.
Yeah.
It's nice gold. That's a little hangout spot, man. Then they got a daiquiri shop right across the street, I believe. Yeah, we go down there, man. And have a great time over there at the Brookhaven Walmart. In small cities, they don't know, man. The Walmart used to be the hangout spots.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I ain't want nothing, man. I just want to talk about just real quick, holler at you about I sure hope that running back from Texas is there on the 26th pick.
Robinson.
Is that Dijon?
Bijan.
Bijan?
Yeah,
I'll be
Bijan.
there.
He'll
I
be
watched
there.
his highlights last night. That
Yeah.
boy remind me of me, boy, running that tater and can't run over y'all Natchez boys.
Never, man, never.
So anyway, hey man, look, man, look, man. We need to work on this defense, man. You know what I'm saying? Get this defense line together, man. Hey, if they ain't in shape this off season and preseason, you gotta cut them cats, man. They gaining too much weight. They ain't in the weight room. They ain't on their keto meals. They ain't, man. Look, man, this is NFL, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, Bohanna and all these other cats, they gotta get in the weight room, get them squats in, man. They gotta eat their ketos, man. I hope they listen. Look, man, y'all need to get in shape, man. Drop that weight. Bohanna could be the mad dog. He got a nasty attitude, and I love him. You gotta drop that weight. You don't drop that weight, they gonna cut you, man.
Yeah, they got plans for Big Bo though. They ain't moving him up out of there anytime soon.
Yeah, I know that, but look,
yeah.
man, Big Bo he ain't gonna have a bunch of reps, man. He ain't gonna be on the field a lot, man, because he's gonna be too winded.
Yeah, I think if Big Bo, I need to see more from him. I think Jonathan Hankins get the first reps, and then Bo.
No.
But we'll find out, man, this year
Hankins,
who they
man.
draft though. If they draft an interior guy in Bo's third round, then they might cut him.
Jonathan Hankins, man, them injuries, man. Look, man, look, injuries. You could never pre-existing injury, a new injury. Look, man, these cats old, man. So look, man, what they're gonna have to do, man, is probably draft. They didn't have the pass rusher also. D-Law, man. I love you, D-Law, and everything. We should have traded D-Law like 3 years ago and gave him that fat ass contract for some picks. But look, man. Look, they didn't have the pass rusher, man. Move Parson up at the linebacker, man. And that's how it's going to have to go, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it's going. Yeah. And look, one more thing, man. What about the linebacker spot? How you feel about that? I mean, we in trouble on that again? You think so?
No, I don't think so, man. I talked to my guy Devin Harper, man, and he had ruptured his Achilles, right? And it was kind of like very tender. And he was a 4-4 guy last year, popping everybody in preseason and everything. And he was saying straight up, man, with the opportunity this season, you'll see how much of a dog nasty we going to be at that linebacker room. So,
man, like I said, man, that's the pre-existing injuries, man. Like,
yeah,
look,
it is a
NFL,
lot, man.
You see what I'm saying? It's pre-existing injuries, all these injuries. So what you think about drafting another DN or one or two and all? And I know D-Law, he's a monster on the run, but man, we need pressure, man. We need pressure on the quarterback.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
I think that the pressure this year, third season, all of the guys third season in the same philosophy and scheme. You'll see prime Parsons. Parsons going to get there. I think that Sam Williams going to be elevated, get more reps, more and more opportunities. My guy Law, he's going to still be there. I think that our defense D-Law going to get there because there's going to be more coverages, man. And I just need my DBs to stay healthy, and we'll see a better team, man, as it relates to defense. I just look at it from that aspect of it.
We done with AB.
He's on the free market right now. He's a free agent, and 32 teams are passing him by every day.
Okay. All right. So yeah, man. You ready for the draft though? You ready to? I don't know, man. I'm trying to see what's going on with him, man.
I mean, hey, we'll find out, man, by the end of this month, man. Hey, traffic is going to be nice, man. We're going to have all type of people watching saying, hey, man, I told you about this guy. I told you about that guy. And then we'll do more inductive type of style of film breakdowns. And you guys will know everything about these draft picks that we got. And then we'll be able to present more and more good stuff for you all, man, as it relates to this team for the 2023 season. One more point before I let you go.
But all the people that they have let go in free agency, that's who they gonna draft. I've been following this team for a long time, so y'all expect them to draft these players that in free agency. I mean, in the draft that they let go. That's how it's gonna work with them.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for calling in. That's my guy, JP.
Hey, catfish and hush puppies, baby. Catfish and hush puppies.
Yes, indeed, man.
Hey, stay out my backyard, man.
Yeah, I won't stay out of it, but I used to own that man's backyard in Brookhaven, man. Shout out to the Brookhaven people over there, man. Great programs and things like that. Running backs, man. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What y'all saying? Who is Le'Veon Bell? Le'Veon Bell isn't a Hall of Famer. He's a 1,000-yard season guy. Yeah, I mean, Le'Veon Bell is nice. I don't see Bijan Robinson being like Le'Veon Bell. I think Bijan Robinson is a mixture of a Saquon Barkley and a Zeke on how his running style and technique is. Not saying that he's any of those guys, but this is running style. But on the high end, you can have any Zeke type of year, right? Or you can be a one-off. Remember Trent Richardson? He could be a Trent Richardson. And I'm not throwing no shade at the man. Trent Richardson, coming out of the draft, was a higher prospect than Bijan Robinson, right? Trent Richardson went, what, third overall, first round draft pick. His prospect and his style was just unique. Physicality, yeah. But then when he got to the league, all of that dancing and with power and finesse, it went away real quickly, didn't it? Somebody be like, oh, hell no, he ain't no Trent Richardson. Come on now, man. I'll roll with you. I'll roll with you, man. Now you saying Trent Richardson, man. You. Man, people mad as hell right now. They punching that like, get out of here, man. I can't stand that dude with the beard hair, you know what I'm saying? I refuse now. LT LaDainian Thomas, like that dude is a dog, man. Shout out to LT, man. LaDainian was that dude that did it all, catch out of the backfield, ran, just phenomenal, man. Just phenomenal. Quick, elusive, just did everything right. I promise you, I don't see Bijan being that guy, but I could be 1,000,000% wrong. And I'll do a video and say, hey, dog, I was wrong, man. Bijan is that dude. The only way I would want that to happen, too, if he's that dude for the Cowboys. I don't want the Eagles or the Giants or whoever to draft him, and then he become LaDainian Tomlinson. You know what I'm saying? Edgerrin James was a whole different type of running back. Whole different type and style, Let's see. Reggie Bush, two different style. If the Cards released D-Hop, I don't know where your comment went to. It ran away. If the Cards released D-Hop, then his first destination should be the Dallas Cowboys. If not, he was just doing a lot of tongue-in-cheek. Yeah. All right, let's go with, this is my guy, my dog, my brother from another mother, no other. Don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool with us. My guy, Brandon. From the 815, you live. What's good with you, man? Been a minute, man. What, you been on vacation mode?
Man, yeah, man. I've been vacationing and enjoying my birthday, man.
Oh, man, happy birthday to you, man. For circling the sun one more time, man. I appreciate you, man.
Man, I appreciate that. I know your callers haven't heard me in a minute, but believe me, I'm going to get y'all back on track. Trent Richardson, I hope nobody ever brings that man's name up again. They literally got still shots of this dude running into darkness, like, wide open lanes, and he's just running into the back of his lineman. Like, I hope nobody defends that guy. Please let that go. Man,
I hope nobody ever become like him. But Trent Richardson did give you at least one good year, and then they changed the rules up on how you drop it. Running back can't lower the helmet anymore, and he had to think too much. You know what I'm saying? It threw his whole game off, man.
Man, Law, I think you being nice. I don't think you got the computer in front of you. You don't got to say it out loud, but I don't think you can find one good year.
You can't find one good year, one good play?
Law, you being nice. I don't think you can find one good year. Trent Renson was trash. Like, that's somebody you could say that's trash, and you shouldn't feel bad. But, you know.
I'm gonna pull up his resume. Keep talking. I thought he had one good year.
Please. If he cracked over 800 yards one time, I say
it was his rookie year. He had 950. He had 950 yards, man. That was his one good year, and they changed the rules up on him, man. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
950.
11 touchdowns. 11 touchdowns. 11 touchdowns. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, that was a good year.
That was a good year for him. You know. For a rookie,
that was a good year.
Most rookies don't get that many yards their rookie year, man.
No. Which brings me to the Cowboys. If we can get a running back that give us 950, 11 touchdowns, we'll take that right now.
Yeah. We'll take.
Would you not?
I mean,
we'll take that.
I'll take that all the way to the
bank. Whoa. Huh?
Yeah, you take 900. Look, whatever Tony Pollard will present, right? Plus the rookie with 950 yards. You know what I'm saying? 11 tubs.
You would take that.
Man, and
then we got the Hall of Famer Dak Prescott. You would take that.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see where you're going.
Yeah. But I do want to touch on a few things just quickly. I know y'all ain't heard from me in a while. I know you might not got that much time, but I do.
No. You're the last caller, man. You got all the time you want, man. You close out God today.
Okay, Kelvin Joseph, my brother. I think the Cowboys need you to show up this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna probably try to play hardball with Big.
Yeah.
But brother, this your time. I don't care what nobody say. We see the talent, but brother, you're gonna have to step up. Like, you know, we can't want this more than you do.
Right.
Our linebacking core. I heard you say Devin Harper come back. We got Jabril Cox. We got 33 Damone Clark. We got LV. I still think we need. Yeah. I still think we need to get the old guy from he just signed with Seattle, so I think that's over. So we're gonna have to go what we got with that linebacker. I think we need another quality DN, just because I'm not with playing Parsons every down at DN. That's not me. I don't want that. This is things that I would like for us to look for in the draft. I hopefully we can get some interior presence. I think now we seen that we got a quality team. Like our team as constructed, I think is at least a second round playoff team. But guys, we all know what this gonna boil down to. And Law, I want to ask you this one thing.
All right, go ahead.
Could you please do a breakdown of? I know you busy with stuff, but if there's ever a time where you like, man, I don't really got nothing to do, I would love for you to do a breakdown of some of Dak Prescott's interceptions, just so some of the believers can see some of those. And I would love you to do some of those iffy interceptions where people didn't know if it was a receiver or him. But my point is it's going to come down to him. And I know guys don't want to, we don't like hearing about Dak Prescott, and I'm not even going to go to it. I'm going to let him live. But, hey, it's going to come down to him. We got everything that we wanted. Y'all didn't want Kellen Moore. We got receivers. We're going to get us a running back. Hey, y'all running out of excuses and time. Both of them are dwindling. So, hey, I love this show. How about them Cowboys? I love our nation that rain, sleet, or snow. He gonna have a show.
Yo.
Shout out to Law Nation. How about them Cowboys, man?
How about him, man? That's my guy right there, man. Yeah. He didn't bring out the smoking guy today, man. Shout out to my guy, man. That's Brandon, always bringing in some objectivity when it comes to everybody else but Dak. But we gonna figure it out, man. My guy Brandon,
goodbye.
Because Dak, he gonna have to. What do you call him? 2 and 4 Dak, So we will find out, man. all what we need to know with Dak Prescott, because at this point, they took all of the stuff away that we used to say about Dak. Yes or no, right? We can't say, oh, man, there's a Kellen Moore with these hitch routes, right? You know what I'm saying? And we can't say, man, look. And this is 1,000. This is 1,000. I'm doing 1,000 with y'all, man. Not 100, not 50. I'm being 1,000 with y'all. You can't say, oh, look, man, that's Noah Brown. You can't say Noah Brown because he ain't on his team, right? That's Eastside Harold's the situation. You know what I'm saying? And we can't say, hey, man, Zeke ain't hitting the hole. Zeke ain't here no more, right? We definitely can't say, well, it's the defense, Papa Rob Marinelli, Mike Nolan. We got one of the better defensive coaches out here named Dan Quinn. This is his 3rd season, right? So we can't lean on the defense. So they took every single word that we used to say for those who call us the Dak Prescott apologists. You know what I'm saying? Not the Avengers, the apologists. You know what I'm saying? You will have me. You will have Mark Holmes. You will have Voch Lombardi. Y'all can create the characters however y'all want to create them. You know what I'm saying? Just let me be Doctor Strange at least. That's one of my favorite guys. But we don't have any more excuses that we can use, right? According to them. So can y'all, the Dak Riders? Oh my gosh, man, JUGA, the Dad Riders. I appreciate you for putting it out there. So there's nothing we can say, right? What can we say now? What can we say? We can't say nothing. Let me know one syllable or word that we can say, right? Hey man, the reason why, but that's just how it goes, right? So there's no Noah Brown, there's no more stop option routes or no stop route. Oh, Boss Cowboy, yeah, he's another guy. You know what I'm saying? All right, so there's nothing. Injuries, right? Injuries, that's a part of the game, right? Barring injuries, there's nothing we can say now, right? We got Coach Mike McCarthy, we got Brian Schottenheimer. We're gonna run the ball. And we're going to make it comfortable for our quarterback. We going to the Super Bowl, baby. Yeah, that's what it goes and boils all the way up to, that we're going to the Super Bowl. That. With that being said, go get D-Hop. We need the sure hands guy. Kevin Hicks. Yeah, let's go get D-Hop. Let's make sure that we put every piece into place. And what will actually happen will be this right here, ladies and gentlemen. That they finally listening to what we said that the Cowboys should do anyway, right? Not make it like, oh, it's Dak friendly, but let's bring forth real football, scheme, strategy, concepts. Let's bring that to the table. And let's bring forth a reality of, hey, Brandon Cooks, let's go draft another guy. Let's not just stop here, by the way. Let's put more and more weapons around CeeDee Lamb. Let's go and make sure that Jake Ferguson is not being shielded off by bringing in another Jason Witten. Let's elevate this guy. Let's bring forth real, true, tangible football concepts to the table, and his team can go far, right? So those are things that we got to look at. Dak got to show up this year, make our record 5-4 in the playoff, and prove me wrong. Yes, indeed, Hickman. We all on the table now. You know what I'm saying? The man want to get a tattoo all down his leg. Well, hey, let's tattoo the NFL with good quarterback concepts in place. Let's get this thing going the best way possible. D-Hop for cheap, yes. So all of this will be tangible if the Cowboys do just a few things. Hey, we all right, y'all. We all right. As much as we can go back and forth. Look, as I said when we opened the show about 4 hours ago, because I felt like that's how long we've been live, even with this roster, as if it starts today. It was hard for me to get that word out, by the way. As if it starts today, how many games do you think we can win with this roster? I want to know in the comments. Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 10? Is it 12? Is it 13 games with just this roster before the draft? can we win with this roster? I want to know, because I have a feeling that this particular team, by the end of this month, is going to be even better. How about that? Ooh-wee. It's going to be even better at the end of this month. Things are going to work out for the good. As they say, old folks, when they read that good book, they say, this too shall pass, right? Meaning that even when you're going through the trials and tribulations, the bad parts, this too shall pass. Even when you're going through the good things, this too shall pass. So the Cowboys, collectively speaking, they brought in some guys that they're going to look over. Whether it's Zay Flowers, whether it's Jalin, Hyatt, Trenton, y'all look up those boys' tape and analysis, the cons and pros, and you write them down. You look at not who they are as if they are who they are, but look at them on how they can become. A Zay Flowers next to CeeDee Lamb, remarkable. A Zay Flower next to Brandon Cooks, wonderful. Even a Jalin Hyatt on this team got to claw his way up. He got to be better than Simi Fehoko. He got to be better than Jalen Tolbert, right? Iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. A Trenton, Simpson here. He got to outperform LVE, Damone Clark, Jabril Cox. He got to be better than those boys. So, man, iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. Don't look for those guys to be the end-all, be-all. Just like the offensive lineman. There will be an offensive lineman drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. This draft, you can book it. Day one, he may not be better than Tyler Smith, Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Mon. Somebody can say day 350, he won't be better than Zach Mon. Or day 450, you know. A Terrence Steele. But those boys got to stand tall and step up and be up. They got to fight. They say when you're up against the struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. And when it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer. See it through. Write this down. Black may be the clouds about you. Right, Jalen Carter? And your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If worse is bound to happen, in spite of all that you can do, Bijan Robinson. Remember, running from it will not save you. See it through. Even hope may seem but yet futile. Then with trouble may be beset. Remember, you're facing what other legends have met. The playmaker, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, you know. Bullet Bob Hayes. But keep your eyes through the finish. Keep your head up. See it all the way through, Cowboy Nation. See it through. Let's continue to grind, baby. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. I had a person hit me up the other day and said, hey, Law, I'm thinking about starting my content creation page. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube page. I want to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, just like you. What do I need? I want to be successful, you know. And I said, man, just go get you a cell phone. Start up you an idea. Maybe a selfie stick. Put it down and spit your mind. The first few weeks, or even the first year, it may seem as if though you're talking to yourself. No one is watching. But then you'll look down, you see 5 views. You look down, you see 10 views. You look down, you see 1,000 views. Don't count those views. Just continue to grind. But Law, when I go live, I only see 10 people. Have you ever talked in front of 10 people before? That's a lot of people. Perspectives means a lot. So continue to grind, work on your craft. And before you know it, you talk to those 10 people daily. Never be disrespectful. Hold them accountable too. Value their opinions. Then those 10 people go out and get 10 more people. And the reason why the nation, and when we talk, is more tangible and is more realism and is more real stuff over here, because I talk to y'all just as if though it was back in the days when I only had 10. I value y'all thoughts. I value y'all opinions. I value y'all comments. That's why you'll see a heart late at night. Law Nation to Reddit. I try to read y'all thoughts and your opinions, and I apply it to this nation. Humble yourself, right? There's always room to grow, but there will be some who figure it out and have 10,000 subscribers just like that yesterday. They don't value those people. They don't value the feedback. It's all about what you can do for them and not what they can do for you. One of the greatest presidents of all time, he literally said these things. Let me rewind just for one more time. He literally said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Meaning that what can you do for the nation? How can you support the nation? Can you hit that share button? Can you like this video? Can you let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys sports talk and beyond? Those are things that's more valuable than anything else. Letting people know that this dude, Law Nation, is independent. He's not backed by millions of dollars. He's not on a syndicate radio station. He's not on a syndicate TV station. But those syndicate radio stations and TV stations, they listen in to the nation. They know where the sweet stuff and the secret sauce is at. A guy that can spit it from his mind, from his heart to y'all ears. A guy that you already know when you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for. To work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you are gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, and lose all terror of your mind for it, if you will simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty. Hey, I had eye surgery on Friday, couldn't see, but we were still out here grinding, right? Look, my mama going through some sickness right now, but I'm still out here grinding. Don't know when that phone call will be the last. Don't know when the last time you're gonna get that call and everything can stop right at the moment. But there's something about me that I'm gonna get it out one way or another, baby. We're gonna continue to grind. We're gonna continue to shine, baby, because that's what we do over here, regardless of whether or not you're a Cowboy fan, an Eagle fan, or a Washington fan, or a Giant fan. We're gonna deliver the truth over here, baby. One way or another. You might as well tat it on my chest, because you're listening in to nothing but the best. Let's go. That's been my time. A lot of people going through a lot of things, and you just don't know.
Damn.
Let's go, baby.
Give me my thing, you.
Hey! Come on. Hey. Let's go.
I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up, yeah.
Play my theme, music.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel lately.
I just wanna run it up.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal lately.
Brady, Glenn Capers, Jamiri, or Jamari. One of the two. Williams, appreciate y'all. Continue to help the nation. Subscribe, sharing is caring. I thank all of the donations. I appreciate y'all so much. Little cuz, she's somewhere else. Absent from the body is present with the Lord. I really appreciate y'all for last week. Come on. Switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. Come on. I mix Nike with designer. Shout out to you, Blake. Appreciate you. Murdoch. Choctaw, Montana. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. Hey. Beast mode, baby. Shout out to you, Gina. With the G. Dallas Diva.
Take it to a meal lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Are you not entertained? Kinda check us out.
If you're watching all the way to this point and you have not shared this content and you didn't subscribe, God dog. And if you're the hater that's watching and you're not subscribed, come on, man. At least hit that subscribe button. If not,
I be at home alone. I be in zones alone.
I'll be on road alone.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel lately. I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal lately. I just wanna run it up.
Matt Batten, baby. Appreciate you.
Check us on. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
By special request.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Don't give up the fight. Everything will be
Come on.
alright on any given Sunday. Yeah, depend on you. If you win or lose, you know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday. Yeah.
Man, that's Uncle Charles there, man. That man going triple platinum one of these days, for real. In the beginning. Hey, how many people looked that up? In the beginning. Marcus Kidd, salute. Marcus, you ain't the one that went to JSU with me, are you? Let me know. Yeah. And you. Let the street lights hit you. Come on. Shout out to the Facebook squad, baby. Marcus Kidd, I know. A5A. If you the A5A, Marcus, let me know. A5A. Shout out to y'all, man. JSU all day, baby.
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something does exist.
Oh, okay. No, Marcus like, nah, dog. I ain't going to JSU. But shout out to you, Marcus. Salute. I follow. Come on.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, play it too.
Hey, shout out to everybody who stayed for the benediction. Y'all crazy, man.
So far, if a baby crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. Bruh. So far, if a baby crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
I said on my Twitter that I feel like in the right system, Dorian, Thompson, Robinson, DTR, in the right system, he would be the best quarterback in the right system. A lot of people be like, hey, ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way, dog. Come on, man. Hey, y'all look up Dorian, Thompson, Robinson, and I'm gonna put his name in the chat. Y'all just look him up, man. If you like the highlights, go watch the highlights, go watch the games or what have you. And somebody asked about quarterback. Check out that quarterback, DTR. I think, Choctaw, you said that he ain't going to even get drafted, man. But leave him alone, man. Leave Dorian, Thompson, Robinson alone, man. Come on, DTR. Y'all need to come on to the Cowboys, man. We need a quarterback like you, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Y'all look him up, dog.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. DTR, baby.
Be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working.
Shoot, I'll take him in the fourth, too.
Something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be, who you're going to be, who you're going to be.
Hey, Dorian Thompson, Robinson, DTR. He's a better runner. He's a better runner than Jalin Hurts. Right or wrong, I'm awake. No. Danny, good. Look up Dorian Thompson, Robinson, DTR, UCLA. He's 6'1.5", about 215-ish. Got a good arm. He got a good arm. Stick to the draft board, man. Tanner McKay. I'm about, man. Cowboys J. That's what she said. Shout out to my guy Cowboys J. Big hands for his size. Not Darian Thompson. Dorian. I'm going to do a film analysis on Dorian Thompson and Tanner McKay. Until next time, DC for life.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know